this little part over here. Let me check.
Oh my god, Jack, or I'm gonna fucking stab you. What do you want, old lady?
This! What? Okay, that was not cooking you, okay? That's good?
Hold on, let me get a cat out of my lap. Come on. There you go. I have a really old cat that decided to jump up into my lap. Stop! Okay, move to the left of the fucking highway.
I have no idea which highway you're talking about.
This highway. I think this is a highway. This is a major road, right?
It's a highway, yeah.
Okay.
Move to the left of that. Take your box to the fucking left.
Never mind. Because I can't use that. I'm the GM.
God damn it. Okay, so here. From what I have up in here, and then we just.
So like this is what you'd be willing.
Yes, and then what like down by. Yeah, and then like anything like this little area up in here, like this area here with Radama and everything to the left. Like
Didn't can have the Earthbound. I'm fine with that. They didn't have the Earthbound.
No, that's the thing. Like this entire thing, like literally everything, and I like only because the main roads up here, like everything up here goes right to Radama.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You get literally everything like over like that, and like. I mean, again, like just like that's like your thing. Like you get the swamps and stuff, which currently don't matter, but I mean. For real estate, because there's a lot of our land right now that we're getting outside of the major portion of the city needs to be redeveloped anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
I'm planning on just fucking purging most, well, not purging, but like reconstructing this entire area, basically.
Yeah, no, that's what I wanted to do as well. I wanted to unironically rip it down and give them like good houses, good jobs, like. Not shiny.
So what we do is we do temporary housing outside the city, put everyone there, rip everything down, and then put them back in.
Okay, yeah, unironically. The only issue I have here is I can't help the black people first.
What if I take the money from you and help the black people with that money?
The issue is, remember, I'm not married yet. Which is our key issue still as well. I don't have a mayor of the city right now.
Oh, wait, what happened to him?
He was thrown out, remember? There's going to be elections in, 2 months, Harmon?
Thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a lame duck at this point. It's not like he can push anything through unless he's working with you guys, because under his watch, things got that bad.
And the police chief is in the exact
same the police position. Are still crippled, which is why I'm moving in, but I'm moving in so out of character, there's still that Schlo territory up there, which I want the police to basically throw their manpower at and then get crushed. Which is terrible, but the police have shown that they're not here for the people.
See, why don't you just fire the entire police force instead?
Okay, so, Jackor, God coming up and saying the police force and current acting government of Tallahassee is fired usually would bring in the National Guard to some extent.
I mean...
Because God's a foreign entity on U.S. soil, even if he says he's a U.S. citizen.
I mean, that's more to do with First Amendment problems right now. They don't really know how to handle you right now. They're just treating you as though you're what you say you are. So they're smacking you with the First Amendment rather than you being a foreign national.
Well, okay.
So wait, what we need to do is we need to get a puppet to become mayor so you can fire the entire police force.
A puppet? Just become the mayor yourself.
I'm just going to become the mayor myself.
I guess I could become mayor, but I have like no money and no...
Please, don't become the Jesus mayor. Don't be like... I'm poor, but I'm not a leader. Well, no, again, if you have ties to us, then that can be used against you because the new religion is influencing government officials. Even though it's an open kept secret that the Catholic and Jewish parties in the U.S. do it anyway, it's not supposed to. So, yeah.
But they don't know my face is the thing.
Yeah, but if God says he's helping you, and I throw money at you, just because it's Word of Darkness doesn't... They're usually retarded in the wrong way, which means they would take this as God is basically controlling you.
That's not how it works. You can take funds from basically anyone. Doesn't matter why.
I mean, technically not supposed to take from foreign governments, but...
Oh, yes, but nobody gives
Okay,
a shit.
guys, I have an ingenious idea. I need fissile material.
No.
We can declare our independence from the United States.
No. No.
Not this again.
We're not declaring a fucking confederacy here.
Florida man builds the atomic bomb. More news at 9.
Florida God builds atomic bomb, nukes Washington, D.C.
Well, hold on, I wasn't gonna use. Well, I wasn't intending to use it last time either. It just fucking failed me. Fucking, oh, you tested it, insta blows up. Because that's how that works. We're gonna try around. It's not really like. What's the government gonna do? Try to arrest guys? Armo, what steps could be made by the U.S. government to stop God from running for office?
I mean, stopping you on the grounds of the First Amendment is probably the first thing they could do.
Okay, but if the people don't care,
No, like you would literally not be able to file your candidacy, and any writing would be ignored.
okay,
Yeah.
see, that's how Tallahassee becomes independent without my attempts.
Yeah, I know that that's how that happens, but that is what the government would attempt to do to maintain the separation of church and state if it came down to it.
When it's not Texas that breaks free, but it's fucking Florida people.
Local Florida man declares independence from the United States. The United States government backs down.
Local Florida mayor.
That's
United States.
Yeah, no, Floridian guy declares independence.
This sounds more like a Texas thing, let's be honest.
No, this is exactly what happens with Florida, man. You guys have to find the knife and the gator. Quick.
Okay, I'm still running for mayor, but that means I need to have a legal law team on my side. Okay, does Armand, does Radamri count as a valid law firm to hire to plead my case to the Supreme Court?
Yes, it would.
Okay, because I'm 90% sure this is getting fast-tracked to the Supreme Court.
If you're running for mayor, yes, it will.
Yes. Well, I mean, I want to run for president, but it's too early. I can't. I want my good friend Al Goring, who has never done anything wrong.
That's illegal. You can't have a German as the head of the United States.
No, it's not.
With ignoring all of the moral questions, Goring is not allowed to run because he's not a born U.S.
He's senior Al Goring, a New Mexican national citizen.
You have to be born in the United States to become president.
Or in the United States, born to a U.S. parent, or on a U.S. military base.
He died in 46, so no, you're not getting that.
No, how could you betray me?
He's not dead.
He was assassinated by Camarilla Kilty.
How could the so war were declared on the camera? Understood. Dun, dun, dun. I'm not gonna need nukes now. I'm gonna need giant sunlight.
You're gonna fucking go to the Hollow Earth and start recruiting.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, no, there's Nazis in the Hollow Earth, Jack Lore, and Mage Lore.
Fuck Mage Lore. Seriously, fuck Mage Lore.
There's also Rape Dwarfs. It's not really rape, but like they mind control and brainwash you and a bunch of other horrific stuff. And progenitor, like servant, client race that they made that they kind of, and now they're hypertech dwarves down there to brainwash anybody that shows up if they get the chance. The Hollow Earth is worse than the fucking normal Earth, which is honestly impressive.
So
But yeah,
you're telling me the
there's-
Hollow Earth is real in World of Darkness. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I
But
never
yeah, no.
guessed
So I
that.
guess we should begin then, my brothers and sisters, of our new world order. Session 1 of Conquest, the world has begun. Oh, by the way, Jackalor, if you do take down there, the Bruja are going to be living under you. Because they
I'm fine with that.
about that
You
black.
have some yes.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Side note. I'm still banning the Tremere from entering the city unless they're like
What?
an ambassador.
No!
Yeah.
Can't send it to me from the city
Why?
because nobody else in the party wants you to.
I mean, why would we want Tremere in the city?
They're useful allies, and if we can prove that we aren't, absolutely fucking evil, and we need their help, we could use their help in defeating the Earthbound as well.
See, that's the thing. As I said, we can have an ambassador show up, but no chantry, none of that shit.
But
The city's not large enough for a chantry or any of that shit.
yes,
You see that, but they have chantries in small towns for shit giggles.
yeah, a chantry is basically a place where tourists sleep. It's a chantry. The fact that it also has wards is mostly because most Tremere are no wards. To some extent.
The reason Tremere no awards is because they're paranoid fuckwits, because for the first 200 to 300 years of their existence, they kept getting murdered for very good reason.
They deserve. The only thing they didn't deserve with that was before the Hermetics found out an entire Hermetic house was Ghoul. Okay. They deserve the race war against the Zemsi, against the Nosferatu, the Gangrel. What was the other clan that they used to make?
It was the Gangrel.
Gangrel, Timish, and Nosferatu were the ones.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm pretty sure you could make gargoyles from Setites.
That would require getting access to Setites without being assassinated by one of the most persistent independent clans.
Well, yes.
Oh, also Setites are banned.
Yes, and that's a band.
I mean, Setites
That's
are
like-
banned from most Kami cities too, so...
Almost every basic band Setites, except like the occasional Anarch one.
And then
And even then, those Anarch cities don't tend to stay Anarch cities forever once the Setites are...
So, next day then, which after our humongous big brain action, I guess then Armani can divide the city up even better then.
So I guess you might as well mark yourself as the patron god of the Bruja.
Yeah.
Or
We have a handout state divisions.
Sure. Can we import Prometheans?
They're going to be anyway.
They're going to be showing up and knocking at my door because I'm the one who showed my face.
I mean, you actually have a letter in your mailbox.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot. Go and pull out this majestic letter. Oh.
I mean, inside is basically it's a pair of plane tickets, one flying you to LA and one flying you back from it. The one bringing you there is about the flight scheduled about a week from now, and the one flying you back is scheduled a few days afterward. And there's also a letter from someone who's calling himself Armano Rodriguez, basically asking you for help in breaking the vampire half, and the reason that he's giving you tickets that are several days apart are so you can get to know the Anarchs to give a slightly more unbiased and knowledgeable explanation at the coming out party, as it were.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to go meet Anarchs. Oh no.
He signs the end he just signs the end with 9s, so you're pretty sure there's.
I just gotta look at it, scratch my head. Nines. What code is this? What evil are these Anarch code makers thinking of? So is it like for one person or like multiple people? Like what?
It's just one, but there's not really going to be any problem if you want to buy more tickets for other people. Like he even says that this was all he had resources to spring for on his own, but if you'd be willing to, if you wanted to bring anyone else, that would be perfectly fine.
See, my only issue with this, right, is that everybody else wants to stay hidden, which was their choice, and they wouldn't just break that now, unless they're retarded. So I'm not giving you the chance to do this, Adolphus. She said she wanted to say
Why
it.
would I do it?
Like, I'm just laughing at oil prices right now.
It's like what, like $100 for? Oh, wait,
It drops to 1. When you look at the chart on the cost chart, it looks like it's a bug because it drops straight. It's $1 per barrel.
Is it legitimately $1 a barrel right now in the real world?
You know, give me.
Oh, okay, so
There's the
oh
chart.
my God, what happened?
The Middle East exploded into fucking hell.
What happened?
Look at the fucking oil, the world oil prices.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
What the fuck?
What comes at the because
And there's the there's the official.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god!
with Trump's meat bucks, I could buy 1,200 barrels of crude oil, keep it for like a month, and then sell it and make a profit.
Where are you gonna start?
How am I gonna store? I have a shed.
Jesus.
You
is
do know that a
the
barrel of
OPEC
oil is
basket?
55 gallons, right? Those big mean drums, those are all oil drums.
Oh, so that's what they sell in the super big meme drums. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I thought that they. Okay.
Yes, and it's $1. $1.
Hold on. So, just thinking about what kind. Sorry, stream. I know you're here for memes and demons, but hold on. So that means Russia, the U.S., and the Middle East, APAC or whatever they're called, have refused to cut production.
Oh, they have. They at this point, there's no way they cannot cut production.
It's
Like
just
they
there's no
had
one
to
buying.
stop.
It's a demand crisis.
Since no one is driving anything, pretty much, or at least the demand for gas has dropped like a stone.
The only things that are running on fucking oil right now are giant tankers, which don't really run on oil. They run on like the.
They run on one of the
crude.
They run on one type of fuel that is extracted from.
Yeah, it's the worst form. It's the dirtiest form.
Armand, you know the big Trump
And
said
then
he's
you've
going to
got
refill our national
trains, which are
stockpiles?
extremely efficient and barely use anything. And then you've got trucks, which generally are a lot better than fucking, everyone else driving around. But still, they use a lot more fuel than the train.
Gas is gonna drop below $1, boys.
I don't like. Holy fuck, Armand! That has never happened in our fucking lifetime.
No, I don't think it has ever happened. Ever.
Crude hasn't dropped to $1 ever since they started tracking it. Yeah, no. If you look at the chart,
It hasn't dropped to $1 since inflation took it up from a fucking dollar.
Yeah.
oh, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, people are now in Western Canada are now paying people to take oil. It is now -1 cent on that exchange.
Yeah, they need to keep their actual oil sands bullshit in operation, otherwise they
This is
won't be
gonna
able to
kill the
survive
worst
this.
reserves of the oil production, which is gonna be the shitty fucking oil of, the shitty sands oils, which is such a pain in the ass for fucking refine.
Yeah, and Venezuela's even more fucked than they already were.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we already have those those peacekeeping forces off their shores. No, Arma, remember the meme of Trump saying he's going to refill the national stockpile and expand it?
This.
He could not pay fucking time.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
There's
What did
literally
US
nothing
deficit
stopping
is
him from
solved by
quadrupling
buying-
the fucking national stockpile right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think you might have to disconnect and reconnect that.
But, also, this is nines. Okay. Wow, he's pretty fucking old.
He's common era, aka it's the fancier way to say
Yeah, 1922 is when he was born. But
Yeah,
that's
so
what I
he's
mean,
only,
like,
what,
he's pretty old in the grand scheme of
87?
North American guys.
he's about 72 as it stands.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not even he's old for a mortal. He's about 50 years a Canaanite, so I think that's pretty close to being a
Not neonate. And silly?
Ancilla in the New World. Can't remember exactly how old you need to be an
Basically,
Ancilla.
Ancilla, in the old form, was you lived longer as a vampire than as a mortal.
I mean, in the New World, he actually has, because he was something like 20 something, and then when he was embraced, it looked like.
But so I'm going to. I'm gonna let the others know then that I'm gonna be leaving the city. And when does it say to leave the city? Like in like a day for a week, or in a week to be gone for a?
In a week, and it'll be about 3 days of being away from the city.
I'm going to work about that then. That I'm going to rest of the party that using our headphone lines. I'm going to be. I have a pressing matters to deal with in another city in to deal with. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go take care of that in like a week or a couple of days. So we should get we should really get everything settled down and set up now. And yeah. Yeah, no, I need to talk to Mary about that. I need to know that I'm going to be meeting the Anarchs because God forbid it's going to be really weird showing
I
up.
mean, he doesn't really identify himself as an Anarch or anything in there.
No, but the place of meeting and stuff is going to be. Yeah, the new healthy Anarch state.
I mean, after they just completely yeeted the new Promised Mandarin out a couple of days ago.
Oh, they just want me. They just want me for my money again.
No, they literally do not care about your money. They want you so that they don't end up immediately getting Inquisition.
Oh well, I hope they have something to bring to the table then. I hope they have at least a moderate boon Armand. I'm so upset that they pulled that on me. By the way, Armand, where's that fucker at?
He's currently moving north until he can't move north anymore, and then he's going to continue on south in the same direction.
Okay. That Camarilla vampire knows he fucked up. I want his head. I want him to come
What the fuck? He only asked for a moderate boon. What's with this drive for vengeance?
It's not wise to send a message for Dahmer.
It's not sending a message. Oh my god. Now all I can think of is Soviet Womble arguing with Cyanide about why they're blowing up a fish fountain.
It's about sending a message.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so I'm also so two things as well. One, I'm going to contact Radammer and I'm gonna show up as a normal person for this because I'm sure news is like the public news is talking about can a god run for office even if they're a U.S. citizen. So I'm going to go to Radammer's law firm as myself, not in god form, because that would be very taxing to do 24/7. Also, I like my god, my human form, and back in the door.
Hello?
There you are, Devin.
Oh god, I'm back up to like super ping again. No, the fucking dropped again. What the fuck is going on?
But hello, Devin.
Ah, hello, Kane. How may I help you? Have a seat.
Well, yeah.
Mary,
How's it
please,
going?
please, nice. What to be fair?
Whatever you have, I do not mind.
Ah,
First
give me our
coffee.
best tea.
I fucking love you for $1. Well, I come to you because I'm sure you watch news to keep up. I have need of your services, as it seems that the U.S. government, even though I'm a U.S. citizen, even though what I am, they're trying to they're very torn on if I can run for office of any types, considering the separation of church and state, and well, of course, the faithful would vote for me. Just trying to like keep the straightest fucking smile as like your help to like the room. Because she's not Pat. She's not Pat, right? Like she's a normal one.
Yeah, she's normal. Normal.
Yeah, he's just keep trying to keep the straightest of faces with you. They there's a chance it may end up being decided that I would not be able to hold any seat of office. And while at the end of the day, if that's what the government wants, well, you've seen what my followers are willing to do when I ask them to be denied a rights of every American, even as a as a god of America. I'm not sure how to phrase that. It may cause some issues, and I care too much about this city. So I was wondering if you could work on building up a law team to be able to compete with and plead my case if it does go to the Supreme Court. Because there's many courts on the way, but I'm sure a matter of this would end up to there.
I most certainly will. Very well. I had like a buzzer. And, like call up all the different lawyers together in my office in like half an hour. Well,
I guess also like also can I speak to you in like private and things of that matter, please?
of
Because I'm
course.
sure, is she a lawyer or is she a
Like
secretary?
it's
or
like
is she
secretary.
a lawyer?
I'm not making like like a lawyer bring me tea or you tea.
I don't know. As god of the city, why would you not extend that?
Oof.
And then once she leaves and stuff, like my guys are like, I can't keep a straight face, Devin. I don't. You think they would be more thankful about about helping remove such an issue, and now they're debating whether or not I can run for office. If any of us could run for office.
Yeah, it's actually a bit of a problem.
And I worry that this case is going to end up deciding how future cases can then be decided, because they look back on. Because if we end up getting rights and the ability to run for office is what we are, well, what's to stop the kindred, the fucking furries, the evil evil ones, like you're the only person I can trust to make this case as efficient as possible, because there's so many ways this could be interpreted afterwards, and we really don't need to have an Earthbound running as vice president.
I know.
This tea is really good, thank you, by the way. You just
Yeah, it's Yorkshire tea.
Brought to us by by a spiffing Brit of some type.
Indeed. Spivko delivers right on time every month.
It's almost like magic. But no, yes, and as I said, this one I will be leaving the city within a week. So it turns out being the face of many things draws you elsewhere to help out others be as naive, I guess you could say.
Hmm. I mean, chances are, as it stands, is that those lawmakers are worried too much. You wouldn't even have the time to run to be a president.
Not this late into the current campaign cycle.
No, I mean generally.
What? What do you what do you mean, good sir?
Huh.
I've literally had nothing to do all day besides wake up, be informed of some pressing matters I have to attend elsewhere, and it's new, and come over here to meet you and deal with.
One of the things I've been hand waving is that you've been working over some of the internals and like you have to do that all the damn time.
Yeah, it's her. Well, okay, yeah. But what's the cult is fully what? Not the cult. Once the there we go. The religious revival. There we go.
Chosen
Gotta get
people.
myself.
Chosen people.
Yeah, the chosen people of God. The American people are chosen by God. Mainly the Florida man, however.
Oh, by the way, Arman, I have a book that has stats for Florida Man. If you need them.
Oh no.
Oh right, there's a totem of him in the Umbra, isn't there?
No, that is like a that is like a book with a type of bane.
Oh god.
Why is he a
Elfomori, well, for Elfomori actually, but you know.
Because he's insane, and every time you hear Florida man does X, then it's always a crime carried out in the most insane way.
So wait, if it's Florida man saves baby, is that baby gonna grow up to be Hitler?
Kind.
Also,
crude oil just at 8 cents.
Happy birthday, Hitler! We're having a world recession for you. Yay. But yes, you can handle that for me directly. Just I need to know the cost afterwards, of course, but
Yeah.
I'm more than willing to work with and pay with you. I've been good on that, and if you were to put like a head like if you were, God forbid, to ever actually come loud as well, it's a good thing you didn't, because you're probably the only one of us that can do this currently that we can trust.
Yeah. By the way, what's more important to you? Keeping the others out or getting you in?
In the city, or like to be able to run for president?
Yeah, to be a run for president, or like
Okay.
political office in general, I guess.
Huh. I due to my conviction and everything, like my virtues and the thing, probably getting me in, because there probably won't be another president afterwards. So, Arma, which one with the virtues and my demeanor, which one would be more important? I need a second opinion here.
Yeah, you'd probably be more focused on getting yourself into positions of power rather than the effect that could have on them.
Alright, well, I'm sorry, world. Looks like fucking I'll be running against, Soul, the Dark Thrall of... But, yeah. Fuck, I'm gonna have to pick up Voice of Heaven for my presidential campaign now. But yeah, me getting in is what I would say is the most pressing one for me. But you're a smart man, you're fully capable, and I know that you can make it to where they'll at least have to jump through some loopholes to try to get in office.
Yeah, I just want to know your priorities first before I make any decisions on how to do it. But yeah, I'll get right on that. And good luck, I suppose. And don't forget to head call if anything comes up.
I won't. This was more as to keep the appearances that, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean just in case you need any more calls.
Oh,
So.
trust me, I will call and I will gladly inform you of my victories. He says with like just a stupid smile. I like shake it, if it's down his hand.
I mean, you're looking for Radiance 3, not Radiance 1. Because Aura of Legend, Role Manipulation, Leadership, number of morals equal to faith, as long as they're at the line of sight and able to hear you. The number of successes rolled exceed a target's witch, she is immediately filled with a sense of devotion and loyalty towards. Get your cult working on some rituals behind the scenes, and then trigger that at the right time, and you might as well just affect an entire fucking stadium.
Well, I'm just worried that I'm going to, the presidential campaign is going to be like, Joe Schmo, a vampire Ventru, because the amount of dignitaries he would get as the first president. An Earthbound Thrall, and a Fall. Oh, and a Black Spiral Dancer, because why not? That's what I'm picturing the 2004 election's going to be. And I don't like it because everybody up there has mind control powers. Well, World doesn't.
I mean, it's basically like arms race.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see here. I mean, if I'll let the others go now. I have other ideas to do, but if they have more pressing stuff.
Alright, very well. And good luck on your journey. And stay safe.
Oh, I will. You stay safe as well. Remember, we still have one of them in here. And, leave Devin's office. No. You can figure to blow with me, Armand, and do the other party members. As I said.
Alright. So, anyone else have anything that they're going to be doing in the aftermath of what is basically mask?
Yes, a lot of things actually.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I don't know if I can actually do it all. But essentially, like, gonna be more or less getting the TCD territory, right? So probably would be for the best to reach an understanding with them first and foremost, and of course also get have a talk with our lovely Ventro friend, and maybe eventually even working over to become like what I called a pact.
So talking with the TCD you can do, and talking with the Ventru is something to...
Yeah, those are the two main things I need to do.
I mean, most of the rank and file of the TCD at this point have mostly just sort of put down their arms because they were there there's still a lot of them there, but they've lost like half of their manpower because the bigger threat has been removed. They're still a thing because just because there's no more leadership for the massive gang doesn't mean it didn't just immediately fracture.
Yeah.
So there's still problems there, but it's more focused on infighting, and the TCD is planning on doing some cleanup operations with the people who are.
Oh God!
Can I like rally the TCD then around me? I guess.
I mean, the leadership themselves they're more confused as to why you're interacting with them than not anything else, because you're supernatural and they're not entirely friendly to others.
Yeah. I have a bunch of common interests, I guess. If they're confused, then I will just offer my hand basically in friendship and cooperation. Since we're both
Peace in our time.
peace in our time. Oof.
Leadership group is like, we can't really afford to fight you, not when you have him as a friend. Making a short little nod towards the towards allied territory.
You look outside, you just see men with like the Fourth Brotherhood symbol marching in lockstep. Couple brown shirts in there.
Damn it.
Mostly silver shirts.
Yeah, mostly silver shirts though.
Please stop attempting to ape the aesthetics of fascist groups in America.
To be fair though, the bad guys always look the stylish.
Brown shirts weren't stylish.
They weren't. But they became stylish when they became black suits.
No. No, they did not.
Rudolph was like, I can't say yes or no to this, I'll go to jail.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Anyway. Afterwards, like, working with you, as much as we're wary about you and your friends, it's not really something we can say no to with the rank and file.
Perfect. So is there anything that you need?
I mean, they sort of shake their heads. Unless you can get your friend to give us some of those weapons that we were using. Some of the weapons, saying that shit was the best shit we've ever used. It's not really much of anything that we particularly need right now, other than maybe keeping those gangs down.
What will we be doing once the gangs are subdued?
We'll probably be shifting just to being on lookout. The TCD is probably going to dissolve unless you do something to try and hold them together. We don't think that unless something else really big happens, we shouldn't need to be here anymore. They're not poking the EB because they can't, because the EB hasn't made any moves, so they can't justify keeping the TCD. And they know roughly that the EB is supposedly in the college, but they don't know how to get at it. So they aren't making any moves there.
I can respect that.
It's not for a lack of desire, but a lack of ability.
Oof.
They're regular fucking mortals. What do you expect them to do?
I mean, they managed to eat another Earthbound before.
They can just
I expected
replace
more
the
drive of
corrupt
them.
Cops
Yeah,
and become the new cops. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
They deleted one Earthbound, and the other one has basically been quiet.
Yeah.
Like, they know it's there, but as far as they can tell, it hasn't done much of anything.
They don't know it's evil, effectively.
Oof.
Yeah, they know it's evil, but again, they can't hold the TCD on the thread of the Earth together on the thread of the Earthbound alone. Not if they can't act again. They've sent some of their more hardcore members down there to keep an eye on the campus itself, try and stamp that down. But unless they get anything from them, they're not going to be able to do it.
What do you think about just becoming a more peacekeeping force, like police? Like, the police is probably not gonna get back up on their feet as it stands.
Snort at that. They kind of snort at that.
What the fuck?
Flying and living. Unless Adolphus.
Everything all set there, Adolf?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. Like, a lot of people are probably going to be joining the police force once it ends up getting cleaned out, like it's probably going to after the... But as it stands, the TCD as a military force is no longer necessary for the...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why not transition over to a more peacekeeping force? Because you're probably aware of like the other threat in the city, right?
Again, like they said, they can't hold it together on the vague threat of the Earthbound alone.
Yeah,
they're keeping an eye on it, but they can't strike it.
that's why I'm saying they should transition over to peacekeeping force. Then they have a reason to stay around and keep manpower around. Even maybe not as
They
much
are.
as
They're losing manpower because it's hard to keep people here under the vague threat of something possibly. They're keeping an eye on things and they're shrinking basically.
okay.
They're
What if I
downsizing.
help them? I have a lot of fame and even influence that I could be pulling.
You can try and hold the TCD together, but as it stands, they're downsizing because they don't need to be as large as they were to fight Los
Yeah,
Olvidados.
no. I understand that, and I'm trying to rectify that.
He's trying to find a reason for them to stay together.
Yeah, and I would be willing to like throw my weight behind it to like such an effort.
I mean, you can do that then to try and hold them, but on their own they can't do jack
Yeah,
to keep it together more than they have.
I understand that. So would they be willing to accept my help?
That was yes. Since the month change, you get your daughter resources back.
No, I mean my first one. The one I spent permanently. So
Yeah.
they could have better stuff.
Yes, you get it
Okay.
back. If you want to keep the TCD together, then you throw your weight behind it instead of it being held together by that group, and nominally you then become the leader.
Yeah, something like that.
Like it's not going to require it's just a charisma leadership check to try and hold it together.
Okay. Dumb question. Does my what's it called? Like my fame apply to that?
Yes. You're rolling at 3.
God bless. All right.
Yeah, because you're basically turning it into your cult thing.
This is basically you co-opting the TCD into a cult.
Cult. I mean that's a harsh word. Oh, does my silver tongue apply?
Yes.
It's already difficulty. Oh no, that's right. You got merits that give you things, don't you?
No. Remember, it's exploding 10.
Yeah, it's exploding.
Specialties are still useful.
You're such a hack. You're a hack, Robert.
8 successes.
Holy.
You collect up another 150 men for your cult.
This nigga, I had to work for my cult 3. He's just got it now.
Technically, they worked for it by killing the Sabbat.
Yeah. Like you. All right, I'm gonna have to roll your cult growth from that at some point. I'll do it in the background while other things are being dealt with. Anyways, so then you pulled together the TCD under your cult. Shakalor, what are you doing in the south?
I'd like to pacify the area by preaching about love and friendship like Jesus or something.
Make a charisma religion check to do that.
Would it be empathy?
No. If you're preaching anything, it's a religion check.
Into religion.
All right, then you don't preach. You can, like, another thing you could do is you could pull charisma intimidation, and half of your fame halved will be added in as a difficulty.
I didn't have intimidation either.
God damn it, Jack.
Well, then be glad if you rolled it at 4.
Sure, I'll roll my raw charisma. That's 4. Out of curiosity, did my willpower get refilled by now?
Yes. There was an end of story. Everyone's willpower and faith is refilled coming in.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll attempt to roll that charisma, spending a point of willpower. Does, let me check my specialty. Silver tongue apply?
Yep.
Five successes.
6 because you spent willpower,
No,
remember?
6. So yeah, 6.
So yeah, no.
So what does he do? Does he teach them what friendship is by force?
Effectively, with that, he's pushed down most of the rabble rousing that happens down that was happening down there, and he pacified most of the gang. In addition, you also collected up cult too, and you have about 70 people in your cult.
Nice. Can I put them all in recruitment?
I mean, you can organize it how you want. I will be dealing with that shit.
Well, we heard it, Jack. Better start rolling your dex medicine. You gotta show them all deep down they're all the same.
Time to get
And
skinning,
keep
you
'em alive.
boys.
Me and the boys skinning the new recruits.
Indeed.
Still there, Jaguar?
Yeah, I'm here. What do I need to do?
Is that all you're doing for the day?
I mean, it takes a while to get through the entire area and making sure that everyone's calm.
Oh, okay, fair.
So what else am I gonna do? Do I have time for anything else?
I mean, it takes days to do that. So,
Ooh.
like, that's a big area if you're trying to keep everything calm. Also, Allied, I buffed up your cult now.
Oh.
Can I speak to Adolphus character?
Yeah, you can talk to another character whenever. Remember,
Yeah.
you don't have to go and talk.
Yeah.
What's up?
I was wondering if you'd be willing to help me set up the financial stuff for my following.
Yeah.
I'm not really that good at it myself.
Yeah, I don't mind helping you do that. What do you
Thank
need
you.
done for it?
What?
What do you need done for it?
Setting up basically finances so that we can, not be poor and destitute. At least the cult itself, rather than me personally.
So do you want me to invest some money you have, or?
Yeah. Well, probably invest the money the people have. Like I'd ask for donations, and then you'd invest that money.
Okay. That's not a terrible plan. Yeah, I can do that.
And use that to grow the cult's treasury.
Yeah, I have no problem doing this for you. So I guess you get to do some fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume Jack Laura needs to do a charisma religion check to see how well he can raise
Will it be
money.
charisma or will it be charisma empathy or something like that?
For that,
Fundraising.
it would be a charisma empathy check.
Okay, difficulty?
Difficulty is 6 after fame reduction.
The silver tongue reply?
Yes.
Nice.
You need to be stopped. What the fuck? What was that roll? Jack, what was that roll for?
Fundraising.
Fundraising.
Holy shit, Jack Lore.
Your cult now can be considered to have resources to spread throughout the entire cult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I'd like to have he's Royben, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like
Royben, yes.
Royben to go and invest that money so that the stuff is proper.
It'd be at difficulty 8, right?
Yes.
If I get down to difficulty 6, if I, have someone drive me around the city while I'm figuring out...
You don't need to do that anymore. You know that, right?
I still don't want the Earthbound to know where I am.
Just do it. It's fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Even if the Earthbound knows where you are, it can't do shit to you.
Mm-hmm.
We've unironically put it in a box.
Fine, I'll do it at my financial office again. Surrounded by hundreds of other people, so it cannot easily distinguish who's doing what. Okay, I willpowered that. So 8 successes.
Alright. And with that, your stuff's invested, and basically everyone has access to resources too, including...
Yay! I'm not poor anymore.
About that, remember you gotta file bat tax. I'm poor again. No.
Oh, I should figure out the legal nonsense for his cult being considered a church. I do have some legal capability to do that.
I mean, no, it doesn't apply because you have to be a church that was founded before like 1920. Specifically to avoid people going, I have a church now. I am now exempt from taxes.
Yeah, we had a major issue with that in the U.S. Thanks to mega churches.
I don't think that's the case.
Yes, it is.
No, if that was, then Scientology wouldn't be a thing.
Oh, they just have other reasons for their thing. I think they were actually founded before.
They use the religious exemption just as much as anyone else does. I know this much. But, yeah, can I try and sort out that paperwork for him? Or
The paperwork for
making sure that his cult is technically a religious church?
I mean, that's something that he can file himself. Like, sorting it out is not actually all that hard, if I remember correctly. I think it's just involved in filing as a 501c. And you'd probably want a lawyer, not a financer, to be filing it anyways.
I have some legal capability, but yeah, fair enough.
Like, it's the sort of thing where you either want to file it yourself or get a designated lawyer to do it.
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else I can do this week?
I don't think so, not if you're stabilizing that area.
Well, you can always run it. You can always encounter the Bruja.
Sure.
Yeah, you could be talking to the Bruja, who would be doing the same thing as you are at night instead of in the day.
Well, let's go talk to Bruja.
Can you imagine that? Like you get your ass beat during the day, and then suddenly at night, I put like two fucking Bruja kicking the front door. That's it. I heard you were causing problems. Not that again.
No, not again.
Honestly, considering what you're already doing, they're actually pretty happy that you're helping them. So they tend to phrase it in sort of helping our brothers move past what's been brought upon them by the Sabbat.
I'd like to seek out a pack.
Seeking out a pact.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Where are you doing so?
Probably amongst those in the financial district. Someone who works in finance, preferably.
Yeah. All right. I'd like you to make manipulation empathy checks at 8. You're seeking 10 successes total, and you can make these checks weekly.
Yay, 2 dice.
Hold on, what was the specialty that you were using?
For what?
For the roll. Also, that's at, hold on. Wait, is that your, oh wait, no, that was your prior check, right, sorry.
Yeah, that was the finance check.
My brain, for some reason, assumed that was your other check. I'm like, wait a second, that doesn't look...
But yeah. I'll willpower this because I
Alright.
only have fucking 2 dice.
Alright, you have 1 success.
Yeah, I'll just spend the rest of the week trying to make sure those investments are as good as possible for Jackalar's cult.
Yeah. I mean, you're already doing. Alright. So then, Ally, other than the upkeep of your cult, what are you doing?
Well, of course, we have to have the fundraiser arm on. Both for the new temple to be constructed, and the purchasing the land of that burnt out ground, which I think is fair. And also, to help literally the worst off portions of the city,
Mhm.
and some in the bank because we know that certain places are going to be worse off real fucking soon. So but yeah, I'm gonna have a fundraiser for with the cult and everybody. Bring your kids, bring your family. Welcome God into your hearts. That type of thing. If not God, at least buy hot dogs so we can help certain areas of the city not be shit anymore.
Mhm.
Look, okay, this is why I have a PR team.
I know.
They're supposed to write the speech, and
They would have.
So charisma. Which one is this of the roles? Is it empathy, expression, like?
This is empathy.
Okay. What did I say? 5.
I mean, you're rolling this at base of 8 because you're actually assisting your PR team.
Oh. Does my fame apply at all?
Your fame applies to your PR team.
So it's still a base of 8.
Yes, but your merits do help.
Five dice at 5. Well, it looks like I'm spending a willpower. I'm in danger. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the fundraiser does very, very well.
So, Jackler, you know how you've been going throughout the week beating people up?
No, he's been giving them stern talkings to. That's why it's charisma, intimidation that he was making the check for.
Jackler, you know how you've been belittling people throughout the entire week?
Okay, what about it?
Now there's a stimulus package, I guess.
I'm guessing you're funneling some of that into buying up houses and paying people so that they can do hotel stays so that you can then renovate their buildings and stuff.
Yeah, like we're starting slowly but steadily. Like, of course, Jackler's permission.
But to do what?
He's doing renovations on some of the buildings.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely approve that.
Jackler's like, yes, please, money, yes. California when it has a drought, yes, please, money for water. But yeah, no, I'm gonna to the downtrodden. I will help us. We will help Jackler rebuild his domain. So probably like 75% of the funds will go to this, like Jackler, and then the other 25 are gonna go to
that. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you can get that surprisingly cheap.
Yeah, but it's going to be a huge temple.
Yeah.
Well, no,
but you're squirreling away a portion of the funds, both to purchase the land and to purchase the materials and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So 75, 25 going in the bank because this is going to go tits up at some point, and I'm just not going to acknowledge it.
I mean, that's only going to go tits up if the police decide that fuck that, we're becoming a gang instead of accepting being fired for being shit at our job.
No, I meant the slow breaking free.
Oh, the slot shot?
Yeah.
They're
They're gonna go hungry at some point, right?
They already are insane. They're all probably ripping each other apart or breaking free.
Yeah, just because you're insane though doesn't mean
They literally don't have any mental functions.
Oh, well, they
above
shut down now.
Primal ones. They literally will be ripping people apart for food.
Well, there was a little bit of activity. They failed at not reading at the death of their Dominator, but they also failed at actually cutting more than a few people up before they got gunned down.
Oh, so did the police gun them down?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not very useful when they don't have someone directing their actions.
And the police still have pretty fucking good weaponry and armor, so they were able to handle.
I mean, there's a reason why they're partially controlled using animalism.
Well, you know what? To the families that were killed or whatever, we're gonna send them the other 5% of the monies.
Mm-hmm.
No, shake the hands of Radomer's Radomer and Jackalor's cop buddies up there. You did the Soviet Union proud, comrade.
Oh my god.
They did their part for the union. But yeah, so the fundraiser and recruitment, because otherwise, like, everything's slowly starting to just fall, as you said, like, managing the cult. But that's a big portion of the time. Like, I do spend time with, like, Mary at night or whatever, because normal humans sleep. But...
I mean, I remember you wanted to meet with Mary about who the hell Armando was.
Ah, yes, that's right. I need to know who the fuck he is. I'm gonna roll up casually, to go see the prince of the city. Yes, in her finest decor. Knock on the front door. There's no other vampires that are visiting that night, is there? From what it looks like.
I mean, the Ventrue, you can see the car. The Ventrue was on its way out when you were heading in.
Oh no! I just waved to him, as he's leaving. Hi. I can roll my eyes when I get past him. I fucking hate this. Some warrior clan he is, Ahriman. But yeah, I'm gonna pull up and go to Mary and knock on the door and the whole process, entering and stuff, and see how she's been handling basically becoming the prince of the city, and if she needs any help as well.
I mean, she's hunched over a desk full of paperwork as it stands, and looking at it, you can see that it's a lot of stuff from City Hall and the like. And she's trying to make more inroads.
Oh. Huh. So anyway, and is she trying to find people to make an inroad with, or is
That's part of it. Effectively, she's trying to build her influence in City Hall specifically.
Oh, okay. Well, as any good god, give her no, not the head pat. But no, I'm going to see if she's actually free to ask about the gentleman.
She doesn't notice you at first until you draw a little bit of attention to yourself, and she says, "Oh, sorry about that. I've had a lot to deal with in the aftermath of your well."
Well, yes, it was either that or let the others dictate how things play out, and well, it's better to be in control when it comes to such a big matter than to let others control you in such a way.
She nods.
Yeah.
So, is there anything I could help you with?
Yes, who is a Armando Rodriguez? By chance, do you know? He's not from here.
Wait, how do you know the leader? How do you know the leader of the Anarchs, or at least the nominal?
I've been invited to meet with him.
He's usually fairly cunning, so given what you did on TV, I'd expect that he's trying to capitalize on that, trying to help build up his group's reputation. She's just waving her hand. I have to admit, it's a fairly inspired political move, especially since he's probably pulling this off by riding high on helping beat back the new promise mandate from what I've heard.
The new promise mandate. What was that?
She just sort of puts her head. She just sort of like drops her head into her hands. She like doing the exasperated sort of groan. Apparently, there were some Chinese vampires or something in LA that were attempting to control things. Apparently, they had taken over the city from the Anarchs, and he only recently managed to claim it back after dealing with some of the other issues there.
Well, good on them. The fact that they were able to basically beat back such creatures in such a manner. Strange that they would now be reaching out after their victory. It looks like.
The crude oil is still dropping. The tar sands are still dropping. It's at negative 13. It's at almost negative 14. Never mind. Apparently, it's at negative 37.
We're the best, giving you money to buy it.
Yeah.
Because they need to keep the systems in operation. No one wanted it to begin with. It only really became a thing because of the fact that oil prices were so high in, like, 2012. After fracking started being a thing, it was kind of worthless to begin with. So, the fact that they're, having this element negative is not really that shocking. It's like if Venezuela tried selling oil right now. Their oil's complete crap. It's just barely above the tar sands in quality. But
anyways,
the U.S.
back
is
to
the
the,
only people that can actually refine it. We have the only
Yeah,
ones with
back to the
refineries
game,
for
though.
it.
Yeah. So, Well, do you have any tips or trips?
Tips or tricks?
Thank you. I don't know why that of all things became a fucking tongue twister for me. When I deal with this specific anarch.
Well, he's a brouhaha, so at least try and refrain from insulting him. Though, from what I've heard, he's fairly astute, so things should be all right on that front. But otherwise, just give him a fair shake and listen to what he. He was born in from what I've heard, he was embraced in the 50s, so keep that in mind. I get the feeling he'll be giving you a guided tour of what he's managed at in LA. Given how poorly things were going before, I can only imagine that it's better now.
So, okay, I'm sorry, Armand. I completely fucking spaced because I'm not a smart man. Repeat that.
Effectively, just don't insult him all the time, and you should be fine. But But from what she's heard, he's fairly good at playing politics, or at least better than most. And that he'll probably be showing you around the Anarchs in LA.
Tell me, and this may be rather crazy. Would you like to come with me, Mary?
Let's say she gets a thoughtful look before shaking her head. As much as it would be wonderful to make inroads with someone as august as him, there's still plenty of work to be done setting up the princedom so that the city doesn't fall back into Sabat.
The only Sabatish vampires I could see in this city are the Bruja, but they seem to have been rather placated by my brothers. I make it sound like they're like being forcefully like abused. But they should. But I do not think the Sabat will be able to make an attack of such manner again. Hopefully.
Perhaps not, but the groundwork must still be laid. There is she gives a little bit of a snort and says, "There is no rest for the wicked," as the saying goes.
Ah, yes, and money does indeed not grow on trees. It will be so much easier to redevelop it.
Actually, give me a second to check something.
Are you about to look up if money does indeed grow on trees?
I mean, that's how much the American government is going
That song isn't going to be released for another 8 years.
Really?
Yeah, no, it was released 2008.
Oh wow. Huh.
Wait, the song?
Yeah, the song was released no way.
Which song?
Ain't No Rest for the Wicked.
Huh.
So no, Allied, you can't make that reference.
Oh god. I'm showing my future sight without even having future sight. I'm a wizard. But yeah, at that point then I'm going to just, I'm gonna give her I don't want to so I'm going to give if she needs something, I've given her basically the bank account basically.
Yeah.
For if she needs resources without having favors held elsewhere, and the contact number of my professional lawyer team, cough cough for Dahmer.
Yeah.
And I gotta ask, Adolphus, do you actually have financial do you actually have finance, or do you just roll the dice and see what your future sight tells you?
He has finance
I
for.
have a finance specialty. Does that tell you
Fucking
everything you
hell,
need to
really?
know? I'm specialized in the stock market.
Good on you. And also Adolphus's number for Adolphus for financial and stock market with the city, and a Radammer for being a lawyer, a totally normal lawyer, by the way. Mm-hmm.
I can hear the air quotes, and Mary can too.
And fuck, Jacklers, they can go through the Bruja. We can't circumnavigate all of it. We have to make the vampires feel as if they're needed. So yeah. But yeah, when I leave the city, and she can always call if need be, and I can get back relatively fast. But yeah, no, and then I guess I'm gonna try to help her with her paperwork. Whether or not that's her order, just spend the night trying to help her with it.
Make a charisma politics check.
Oh God, help me! Difficulty.
Difficulty is 8 base.
Four noise, boys. Willpower that. Oh, hey, that's pretty good. Here you go, chat. Fresh off the meme printer.
Ooh.
Good fucking thing I helped her, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I now see why,
She has a charisma of 4, and she upped her politics, so...
I also see why she's been having troubles getting into the fucking...
Because I can't roll for shit!
Well, she at least got one off me, since I was assisting her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, I gotta do politics. And I'm studying about anything and everything I can about the Anarchs.
Mm-hmm.
Because God forbid if I go over there with a naive outlook, and they just basically give me the China treatment. Yeah, no, China #1, no sweatshop here. That's my thing. Abs, come out of hiding, my son.
I mean, you still have a week of action to go before everything else happens, so Amps, reveal yourself.
Good evening.
Good evening. Abs, why did your demon sleep all day, you fool?
Well, hold on, trying to find the game. There it is. I accidentally clicked on Hong Kong when I like this. And also, I have to rebuild my African character. GG.
Rip.
So,
Hey.
what has everybody and their mothers done?
I mean, you were here for the big explosion, and now everyone's been working on solidifying their influence there in the areas that they claimed.
Oh yeah, what has Jackalaw decided to do?
You can see his giant box of influence there.
Okay.
He's taking land.
He's also claimed street influence, if I remember correctly.
Basically, yeah.
Meh. Fair enough. Well, essentially, okay. What? So we're just gonna. So, oh my god, it's hard to say this in a proper way. So I'm like Am I the last person to have their go, or am I in the middle?
You're the last person so far.
Last person. Yeah.
Okay. Since I got the new job, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna practice the job a bit and know my patients very well and see what overall conditions there are in the hospital. The most common occurrences.
Make an int research.
Intelligence research. Yay. Uh, 4. Difficult.
Difficulty is 6.
I would like to willpower this.
3 successes. Mostly it's been gunshot wounds and the like up until recently. And they expect that the trend will hopefully reduce, given everything else that's going on for everything. And again, most of the victims are either bystanders with a variety of other things going on instead of actual gang members going there.
Okay. And what? Oh, is it how? Trying to remember how your influence system worked again. You had to build up the contacts, then you get the influence, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to build up my contacts within this hospital. Know all the other work employees, my fellow work employees.
That is a charisma empathy check.
Hooray! Difficulty 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, enchanting voice would not work on this one.
It does.
Oh, so is there 4 then?
6 is base, so then you add on the modifier.
Okay. It's just, it's very rare I use that merit. So it's a -2 overall, I think, so... I'm still gonna willpower this one. Because I have been screwed before, indeed. I was right.
You have 3 dice. What did you expect to happen? Pick up your two contacts of medicine for the week.
Yay! God damn. Load up your PC and it's still getting like Microsoft Drive. Why you like this?
All right. So, as the week turns by, Allied, you catch the flight to the Anarch State, I assume?
But of course! Off I go to the Anarch State! Yes, and I tell everybody I will be back in a few days, or I will not be back at all.
Understandable.
If I'm not, declare war on the West Coast.
Do a little way.
What are you on there seeing me off on the plane? The plane's gonna blow up midair. Oh, I'm just gonna be like, got another one.
Oh, turns out it's the meme with the burning building with the little girl. Turns out it's the plane instead.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. As you head off, when you it takes a little while for the plane to land, but you landed at about 11:30 at LA, and waiting for you at the baggage claim is a Hispanic man who waves hello and waves a little bit of a sign that has your name.
Florida God of Florida. Florida man God. There we go. Florida man God. I'm gonna come over and go, greetings, good sir.
So glad you decided to accept my invitation.
But be rude to not at least hear you out.
Glad to hear that. So as you hopefully heard in my letter, I am Armando Rodriguez, though I prefer 9. Tribute to my family.
I must guess, as you're well aware, I come from a city that we've just dealt with certain people, because we're still in an airport as we're leaving. Is this a family of?
Oh no, this is my mortal family.
Ah, okay. It's very strange here in Los Angeles compared to what it's like on the east.
I mean, the city itself is actually surprisingly calm. There's everyone's walking around and it seems pretty peaceful.
As I said, it's very different from the East Coast.
Yeah.
Where it's armed men patrolling anywhere not with police.
Yeah. He sort of sighs. I heard that you had problems with the Sabbat until recently.
Yeah.
It was no cakewalk here. We had to throw back the we threw back the Sabbat in '65, and then we had to deal with the goddamn Quasian.
It's most impressive you've thrown back 2 full-scale invasions of such a manner. Tell me, it's just you that did this, or was it?
No, it was the entire Anarch state. We worked together like people should, and then we managed to push them back, even if the Camarilla didn't think we would be.
Oh yes, I've heard interesting things about this Camarilla, both good and bad.
Yeah, I mean, you're closer to them, so it makes sense that they're the ones establishing their claims in your...
What? Armand, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What role would it be to correct him as to letting them stake their claims and more granting them the right to exist in our territory?
I mean, you can just straight up say that.
Okay. He
has no love for the Camarilla at all.
Okay. I mean, I'm just gonna show my fucking bias then. I've only worked with them because they've sent a sweetheart, and because of the singular fact that I don't have the men currently to drive them all away. They, from what I've read and what I've learned, they are willing to throw those that mess up directly into the line of fire so they don't have to lift a finger. It's very inefficient and truly wrong.
Yeah, at that he kind of just sighs. Yeah, I kind of considering some of the other stuff that I saw here a couple of years ago was really bad. That's just how some of the princes handle things in there.
And while I cannot blame all of them, you think they would learn this thing called adaptation over time. But no, it seems like it seems like all they know is throw neonates at problems until it resolves itself. It's such a strange repeating of cycles.
You can hear a low groan coming out of 9. Yeah, it's kind of how we got into this mess. And he said, waving. Princess didn't know when to stop, and then we had to
I how far back would I have been able to gotten books about the Camarilla, Armon?
I mean, you would have only gotten their recent stuff where they're like they only know that the Anarch state really exists, considering that they're pulling back. Anything would be more focused on the August Elders.
Like, would Mary's books have said anything about like the original Sabbat or anything or shit like that, or no?
Other than that, they were the eternal, rabid, destroying enemy.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, the Anarchs are fools who will eventually see the light, and the Sabbat are fools who we simply must destroy because they have turned themselves into monsters.
No. Okay.
I didn't do it for you.
Yeah, he said to put it on there. He didn't say he was going to do it for us. Well, good Sir Nines, I will be rather honest. I'm a blunt and just man. I'm sure there's many things at work here that are being kept in the shadows, to say the least.
There are plenty of. I mean, it took me way longer than it should have to get an actual interview to actually break the secret here, even with the opening that you get. Some Camarilla toadies who were hiding amongst the rest of the Anarchs here, trying to shut it down.
Well, can you truly blame them? For what it seems like, there are many reasons to fear the humans, when most of kindred society are not nearly as.
And he's just kind of chuckling at that.
Yeah.
You sure showed them that. Sometimes I think the elders on top forget that they don't rule because of humanity. They rule in spite.
Yes, but I would rather not let any humans hear that if they could, because even without our footsteps, they were clawing tooth and nail to handle the Sabbat menace. It's impressive what they're capable of doing when given basically freedom or pushed into a corner.
How do you think the Anarchs sparked up? When the elders kept stomping on us, we pushed back, and because we still remembered what it meant to be human, we managed. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that everything's perfect here. There are plenty of vampires who just use this place as an excuse to do what they want. But I've been working on trying to tamp down on the worst of that. The world is changing, and we've got to change with it. Otherwise, we'll be swept aside.
Oh yes. Just a very firm oh yes. There's a new order that will be, that's, I wouldn't say new, it's the old. Something that many can far beyond what any can remember has returned. But anyway, let us come and let us see what you wish to work on, and I will lend my aid if I see fit. I'd rather not promise you anything if our differences are too different.
He sort of nods, and as you're doing that, what looks to be an Asian man sort of walks up, hands a letter to Nines, and then walks off.
Peace were declared.
No. Nines does it like he's completely calm. He pulls open the letter, reads through it, and then he just sort of folds it over and then puts it in his coat. I'm guessing you're still on edge about that, though.
I mean, I'm just I'm just kind of like looking at it, just like I'm waiting for if he's going to explain it. He's going to explain it. If not, oh, this is his land, so I'm not gonna like complain about it.
He sees your confusion. He's just like, well, they managed to beat us by taking advantage of internal divisions. Who said we couldn't do the same?
That's fair. Oh, so that was one of them then.
They're different from us. They can have some of them can have kids apparently, and that was one of their kids who happened to join us. We do have a few of them still here, but for the most part, it's mostly their kids.
Nice. I was just trying not to be racist, to be honest, but well,
At least you're trying, and at least you're honest.
my policy has been to attempt to be honest up front. It does nobody any good. Does nobody good to misunderstand what I've said.
He nods at you. I can respect.
But yes, let us see what it is.
Basically, he shows you around, and it's mostly a couple of hangouts where there's some where you're pretty sure you can ID some brouhaha, maybe two gangrel. The weirdest one is some dude who's basically covered in crystal, who's busy trying to who seems to be trying to figure out how to draw a circle or something on a piece of paper. The Nine spooks out before asking him how his research is going.
As we're going, I'm like, what was wrong with the one with the crystals?
No, he's fine. Just he's a defector Tremere who he's been having problems with figuring out the high levels of Thom without any help.
Oh.
No.
What? What are
I don't know what you're implying, but no.
I mean, I have those books about thaumaturgy that give me a rough understanding. He wants high level thaumaturgy.
What books about thaumaturgy?
The Tremere gave me like.
That was the Toreador. That was just a cult.
You bought your occult library from a Tremere. He didn't tell you anything about thaumaturgy.
No. Wasn't there like the book about like basic like what thaumaturgy is like magic blood?
No, you would have learned that thaumaturgy is magic, and you would have learned its rough capability. The Tremere deliberately gave you nothing that would give you any insight as to how thaumaturgy works.
That was the Toreador you said, Jackal, then?
The Toreador did not give you any books on Thom. Gave you books on the supernatural state.
The library of the Sabbath Toreador.
We photocopy that.
She didn't have any books directly relating to the mechanisms of Thom. She didn't have access to that. She knew some of its capabilities, but not the mechanism.
So we just stole her library? Where are the physical books?
We all have an occult library of 3 right now.
I have the physical
Oh,
books.
we all have an occult library of 3?
Yeah, we
Everyone has access to level 3 occult library.
Yeah, you all have
Well,
photocopies of it.
Fair enough. I'll open my occult library. I didn't know this.
Our apologies. Yeah, no, we did that yesterday. We after the raid, we basically photocopied everything there and handed it out.
Because we killed her, so yeah. We just went and took
Don't worry, Jackal, we didn't screw you over because you fell asleep. Like, you got the same shit we did out of it. You said he's one of those rogue Tremere. Tell me, what makes it different from what they are to begin with? I've heard.
Most Tremere tend to subscribe to a real hierarchical system that they call a pyramid. Some of them don't like. Some of them leave.
That sounds.
We're the only other real group who they can go to if they don't want to just become monks.
That sounds very occulty. The pyramid.
What I've learned from him, they love their stylings like. Each pyramid with 7 ranks inside of their 7 ranks. Fucking, they like their repeated numbers and all that.
Don't know about the hermetic ties, repeating numbers, symbolism. Sounds like an Earthbound. I see. Well, that's a wee bit more. Those books have been hard to come by. They don't like to share. They don't like to share, even if there's vast money being thrown around. So tell me, is it mainly Bruja and the Gangrel that you have?
I mean, we're the most free spirited of the clans concerned, who each of us tend to embrace. We've got a couple of Tories here and there. I don't think any of them are here right now, though. I think there's a venture up in the penthouse, but I'm pretty sure he's in the middle of a business.
Oh God, I'm I'm so unhappy with that clan. I was told that they were warriors and men of honor, and instead I had a merchant show up.
They used to be warriors. Now the only ones who are still warriors are in the sub. Most of them are now just most of them are merchants at this point. You'll get the occasional vampire who bucks the trap. Pretty sure that there's a pretty decorated fucking I forgot the name, Archon, who's a venture by the name of Jan Peterzoon.
Fuck him! Fuck him!
He sounds very French.
Pretty sure he's German, but
Oh, even worse, if history could be believed. Sorry, Radon. Juan? Is it Juan? Is it Jose? No, but yeah,
I can't remember how to say his name. I'm saying it how I've always heard Kale pronounce it, so that's probably my.
No, it's not
Is it
pretty.
Jan or is it? I think it's Jan actually.
Yeah, it's Jan. But anyways, you will die with this name carved in your flesh.
Juan.
Just keep it up. It will just get worse.
But I was like, well, as I've said back home, and as I said here, while we aren't nearly as free as it seems to be here. It's more mainly to make sure that issues don't pop back up for the time being.
I figured, considering
It's a
that.
temporary measure. It's a temporary measure, like all those other things politicians have put forward.
Yeah, but I mean, unironically, I would totally be down with loosening shit once we know that Florida's, Tallahassee's not immediately going to fall back in the hellhole. But yeah, I understand, and as I've put into my work, like freedom and things of that nature do matter to me. More so than others, of course. While I would love to be worshipped as the only God, I can't force people to go. Force people to do that.
Of course not. Sort of thing isn't really sort of thing doesn't taken kindly either by us or by the moral authority.
Yeah.
I mean, you just need to look at what happened in New York to tell.
Well, he just shrugs his shoulder at that. Just, well, yeah. So then I take it that you wish to that. So the meaning of this, and I mean, I can see that this place is better off than home currently, and you've just fought off. In terms of like there being a lack of bullet holes everywhere, like Tallahassee was almost everywhere had bullet holes. Yeah, my brother was just angsty. It was just going through this angsty teen phase. We will remedy him soon. No, but so I take it then you wish to. Are you sure that is wise though?
I mean, if we're ever gonna rip back the last tatters of the masquerade, then right after you popped up is gonna be the best for it.
Yes, but the side effects upon your society in and of itself will be far out of just your control.
As they'll be with yours. It's at some point the veil's gonna fall. We can't hide.
What about that? Lord of Light, hi, this nigga. Whoosh, no. That's fair. But with mine, at the very least, I had spoken to me and mine that were capable of in reach that were functional and able to do that. You and your kind are a world spanning at the minimum. Have you spoken with any of those within the Camarilla? And dare I say, the crazed Sabat, who may very well take this as a chance to be even more crazed?
Zabot never respected the masquerade in the first place. They cared more about keeping humans in fear. Pulling the masquerade down can only help rob them of their power. And the Camarilla is never going to change it unless it's forced. I haven't heard anything from people in there about this, but there's almost been a tacit approval given that I could actually find someone who was willing to do them with a national reach who could do this.
Well, I just wanted to be very clear. Me signing my name to this is a very, very large thing. Especially with my word as what we've just done. So I must just be honest. What are you willing to give in return?
I'd offer the help of I'd offer the friendship of the Anarch state, but we're a bit far away.
Yes, that is. Well, you're far in the sense that I doubt you guys can close distance and such. Anyway, but alas, so what else is there, good sir, that you could present? I do still need to think of my others who need to benefit to some extent.
No, it's that. I'm actually thinking, like, the Anarch state, for all that it is powerful in numbers, doesn't have a whole lot of influence that it can pull on to any major degree.
Yeah.
If there's something you want, I can try my best to get it for you.
Quick, voices in my head. What are we thinking?
If it was me, I'd go for books.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly you can probably get more knowledge out of it. Yeah, I mean, he even mentioned like a guy that's doing like thaumaturgy, so you can get into that. But that's not really a big price for what. Yeah, but you know, we don't know any. We don't know any, so that's already a good basis.
So are you saying we should start with the anti pyramid trimming? Is that what you're saying? We should distribute thaumaturgy for the people.
No, we should have that knowledge and like use it for ourselves. Remember, if we distribute like thaumaturgy, that's A, dangerous, because you know it's fucking blood magic, and B, it will devalue it. And C, I mean, it will also make us a target, but that's another issue. No, but I don't think that alone would be a price for just throwing like your name behind it. Because if they fuck up, that's a considerable risk to you. That also tarnishes your operation.
Yes, no, I know, which is why like I'm asking as well, like what do you guys think?
Yeah.
I think we should go for more general occult books.
So basically, as much occult as they can finagle copy-wise, and basically a pack of friendship with the Anarch states, because those never cause any world issues.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it comes to showdown, you can always throw like their name behind it, I guess, or at least Nine's name. Actually, you should also ask for like the names of the other Anarch important people. Don't ask for leaders because they don't have that, but ask for people other people look up to.
So influential
Anarchs.
Anarchs, occult books, pack of friendship, anything else?
Would like intel also be covered under that? You know, like if anything happens, they're obligated to tell you.
Oh, wait, repeat that?
Intel from the territory, and like whatever generally.
Sharing.
Yeah.
Intelligence. I mean, at that point, instead of it being a pack of friendship, it should be like an actual alliance at that point. Because normally, when it's just friendship, it's not.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
So voices in my head. Do we go with an alliance with the Anarch state?
No.
No, they're
No.
not powerful enough.
Yeah.
I mean, we can prop them up. I have 400 difficulty 3 guns and armor ready to be rolled out right now.
I mean,
There's nothing that says power projection like rifles that can hit you for difficulty 3 in the face as a vampire.
But the problem
That's
is
still stupidly powerful.
the problem with the Anarchs like is not their raw power. The problem is their structure. This is inherently piss weak. Like as soon as they don't have like a common goal, they just skedaddle. And even if there's like something happening, there is a good chance that no one will fucking show up, but you know, a handful of people.
That's the issue. The Anarchs are too decentralized to pose a threat to basically anyone except those.
Not even the main issue. The main issue is you'd piss off the camera off by.
Okay, so we would just run friendship. Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's just a friendship then.
It's an alliance because friendship is better than alliance in this case, because it's more valuable to us.
I won't lie. I wish we could contact the Camarilla right now because we could probably get a better deal from them.
Yes.
But that throws the entire.
But we can't. The problem is we can't contact Camarilla because they're the Camarilla.
Well, I mean, I can contact the Camarilla.
50-50 shot they're not gonna bother talking to you in the first place.
That's fair. But at that point, the good vampires are now the Anarchs, which is gonna be weird. I don't.
Did you ever pact your vassal?
Huh?
The girl, the person that's gonna be the prince. Okay. Can you contact her mind to mind?
Session 3.
No, I didn't give her that power. She only had a faith potential 1, and I gave her immunity to mind control.
Fair enough.
I can call her, however.
Well, call her and tell her to try and contact Camarilla and tell them, hey, we're about to strike a deal with the Anarchs. Are you going to come and, you know, give us a better deal than they are offering? Or are we going to have side with the Anarchs in this matter?
Okay, so we're forcing the Camarilla to come to us with a deal.
Yes, basically that's our best option right now, is to force the Camarilla to actually do something for fucking once.
If they don't do that, do we call their bluff?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna inform Nines after standing in a corner muttering to myself. Nines, I require a phone, and this may conversing with my brothers. They have come up with a different idea, and I do need a phone. It seems like they wish to see if we can provoke the Camarilla to act in some capacity.
Hey, if you can get the old farts off their asses, then who knows? Maybe they'll actually be the ones to break it instead of relying on us to do their dirty work for them.
Well,
he pulls out a phone and he tosses it to you.
You know, I take it and I go, either way, Nines. Even either way, at the end of this, I'm willing to work with you in the future as well. You seem to be a good man.
I'll be here.
Call Mary.
Hello?
Hello, Mary. And so, this is going to sound crazy. I need you to try to get a hold of the Camarilla and inform them that, was Jackalor's plan, which was
that Nines is planning on breaking the on breaking the news of vamps to the world.
Yes, and that they have a pretty good deal, but you know there's nothing official yet.
She nods at that. Okay then, I'll see who I can contact. Get it kicked up the chain.
Well, I mean, worst case, Mary, the Anarchs are now the good vampires. If you catch my meaning.
Yeah, you can almost hear her. It's not like we can't try and get ourselves in on that designation too, but this will likely force their hands to either act before you, or muddy the waters.
They can
Interact with us at the best. Actually.
Well, that's the thing. I'm willing to work with them instead of the Anox. You know, look over at late night. No offense, Nines. No offense.
He just sort of nods.
He's like, I understand. It's just business.
Yeah, no. Like you've already said that you're perfectly happy working with them in the future.
Yeah.
It's just in this case, the Camarilla just happens to have better resources to do this.
Yeah. Call. I'm like, then call me back. Right away, and do let me know ahead of time if the Camarilla attempts anything. I do have some ties elsewhere that, surprise, surprise, they might not get their way. Thank you.
Pretty sure the Camarilla knows not to screw with you. I've heard news that more than one of your brothers has simply been dropped and then gotten back up in someone else's freshly slain corpse. So.
Oh yes, that's just one of many of our abilities to keep kicking, so they say.
Yeah. She just sort of makes an affirmative grunt. Anything else you need to do?
As of right now, no, and I apologize for stringing this on you, but it looks like you're going up in the world, and I will have that armor for you as soon as I come back in like 2 days, I promise. But yes, I'm gonna, hang up, and I guess me and Nige are just gonna enjoy some American things while we wait to until I either hear that the Camarilla is gonna try to blow their load before us, or if they're gonna try to work with us.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I apologize, but as a side note, I actually have to go pick up my family now. So, do the others. I apologize, guys. I'm trying to get through this as quick as
That's
possible.
perfectly fine. We
That's
can
fine.
find out
So
later.
I'll be
Everyone
back.
has their own things that they need to.
30, 40 minutes. Oh, as a side note, I'll head call them and inform them that about what I've done with Mary, and if we catch wind of it, that they're gonna try to pop it beforehand. Deal with it. Stop it. Make them aware that they have to play ball with us. even if it's not a good attempt, they'll know that we can reach out and touch them, which will scare them and help us. Yeah.
So I teleported into the chat room where Linda Wessex. So you need to talk to us rather than just going on with this? Gotcha? See, what do you guys think of this whole thing?
I don't think threatening the Camarilla would be a good idea. Even if we can try and force their hand to play ball with us instead of just going ahead with it by themselves. I don't think it's a good idea to try and force them. They're a kind of group that will tactically think out the best way to screw us over in the long term if we try.
Problem is, we also kind of need their help with, securing everything, because we need the humans on our side. They're the best option for getting the humans on our side because they have all the fingers in every pot.
So I think I'd like to talk with Gene and try and figure out if he would be even remotely competent at forming a cult around me.
I mean, what I'll say is that he's no preacher, but he can give it his best shot. He has no dots in religion, but he does have some in empathy and
Well, he'd probably be better than me at it. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Now the question is, are you gonna go with mystery cult to try and start recruiting from cult seekers and the like, or
Mystery cult for sure.
Alright. Yeah, he will get you your first thought of a cult with that. Your first thought of cult.
I'll need to have. I'll need to commission. Allied or one of his people to make like a little statue of me at some point in the near future. Preferably allied, of course.
You mean a reliquary?
I mean, this is happening over the week, so.
I'm thinking like an 8-inch tall little me.
You do know this is sounding more and more like you're trying to build yourself a perfect reliquary.
8 inches tall is a perfect reliquary.
A perfect reliquary has no minimum size that it can be.
Wait, that's bad. You can just summon you back. Oh hell.
I mean that's not what I'm trying to go for. I'm trying to go for like a tiny me so that they have something to worship in front of, because it's not like I'm going to show up in apocalyptic form all the time, you know what I mean?
You don't need to build what is the perfect cover for a perfect reliquary to do.
So what would you suggest? A book? Just a book?
I mean, you can just have them do things other than do the stereotypical kneel and worship in front of a statue of yourself.
And gone he is.
Anyway, anyone else have anything they're going to be doing whilst Allied is dealing with the end?
Well, yeah. I still need to speak to the what's like the Ventral to clear up our
Right, you still need to do that.
yeah, to clear up our relationship and make him understand that he's getting my patronage. And
Instead of it being the other way around.
yeah, I mean I think that kind of falls on its flat. That kind of fell flat on its back when when everyone figured out that we aren't really normal. I mean, officially, I think I will go with the cover story. You know, have him be my umbrella for that.
Mm-hmm. So basically, you're trying to pull off what Allied is with Mary.
I mean, in a way, yeah. I mean, I think it's the only sane way, to be honest.
Yeah. And that's just another charisma empathy
Yeah.
check at
At what?
At
He said
8 base.
At 8 base. I have my what's it called? My aura thing, so I should lower it to like 7. A silver tongue should probably apply again, right? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, sorry, what was it that you just said? You kind of...
Silver tongue should apply again, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright.
At least it's not a bot. So you've just made no progress on getting him to worship you.
Yeah. Yeah, but well. So how's how the lawyer
Oh my god,
doing?
the oil market's just shut down.
What's that song now? I need to find.
How low did it go before it actually stopped?
Drop to negative 35.30.
GG, boy. Oh,
Capitalism's dying and there's no further proof than that.
Oof.
Yep, that's what happens when you shut down the entire economy for fucking months.
What happened?
I mean, the oil markets are shut down.
I mean, it's not only the crisis. Like the fall has begun long before that. Like the
you
whole.
post the link or something like. I need to see. Where are you getting your websites?
So other than that, anyone else have anything else they want to do over the couple of days that
I mean, I also want to know what like how the lawyer team is doing.
how your which?
The lawyer team, since they're supposed to look into Adad's case. You know, him with the presidency and all.
No progress as of yet. The particulars are still caught up. It's like, what does he count as? Is he even still an American citizen? Because can he be said to have been born here and all? There's just a whole bunch of fun little implications tied up with all of this stuff.
Hmm.
I think I'd like to spend the week trying to help Gene develop his cult leader skills. If at all possible. I'm absolute shit in the same regard, but at the same time I'd like to try and help.
I don't think you can, though. If you don't have your relevant experience of your own, I don't think you can help.
Well, if that's the case, I guess I'll try and build up my resources again. Because I really don't have anything else I can do for the time being. I don't have the resources to build like a secret underground church under one of Allied's renovations.
I'm honestly more surprised you aren't continuing to try for the mystery cult thing or get more in. You started looking for a pact and then you just kind of stopped.
That's because I'm absolute shit at trying to find a pact. That's the
You have
problem.
willpower you can spend.
I mean, just remember,
Yeah,
like,
fair enough. I should continue trying to work on that pact.
just remember, like, once you get some people going, you can use like those to help you, even if you aren't that great.
Yeah, I guess I'll try and go for the pact again.
Mhm.
If nothing else, it's an option. All
So
willpower.
charisma expression at 8. Actually, no, it was charisma empathy at 8. Yeah, no, it's not charisma expression, it's charisma empathy. My mistake. I'm pretty sure you have a better dice pool than that for that, so be glad. Also, you rolled the wrong number of dice, I'm pretty sure, at the wrong difficulty.
So it's not charisma empathy, it's charisma expression. Okay.
Oh, it is charisma empathy. I'm pretty sure you have 3 charisma.
Oh, it was manipulation empathy last time. That's why I got confused. You said it 8, okay. But yeah, I'm willpowering this. 2 successes, yay.
There you go. There's more progress, man. Alrighty. So I'm guessing Amps is going to continue building up his contacts in the medical industry there.
You are correct, my good sir. Oh my god, what the heck?
There's empathy at 6.
Will that be at 4 with enchanted voice? Spend a willpower.
Yes, it's at 4 with your man.
Yep. 3 successes.
Alright, you can take another 2 contact.
Not gonna lie, I like this system, to be honest. It feels actually more satisfying building them up. I think I know what I'm gonna spend my XP after this session.
Alrighty.
Do you think Allied would be willing to allow me to have like a small hidden church under one of his buildings that he's being constructed?
You'd have to ask him.
Yeah.
This is the problem when he leaves mid-session.
I mean, you can also try to like how many packs do you actually have?
I only have the 1.
Okay, how much resource do you have?
3.
You have financial influence, right? And finance.
I'm sorry, what?
You have financial influence and finance, right?
Hypothetically speaking.
Do you have it or not?
No, he doesn't. He's
I
saying
haven't
he
built it up
doesn't,
yet.
but he has plans on it.
Okay. Okay.
Theoretically, that's what I'm saying. I have theoretical degree in physics.
Oh, well, that's fucked then. I think you should probably like concentrate on your strengths first before like you can have a cult like long before you start building like the underground church, and it will be much easier to like build that once you have actual people backing it.
You know what? I'll have Allied make some rings that are essentially blued steel intertwined with silver bands for my cult members. And I'll commission them to do that, and I'll keep working on my finance and trying to find another pact on the side for now.
I'm just tired, guys. Sorry if I seem spaced.
Yeah, we could tell.
Don't worry.
I'll use my powers for this roll to try and increase my resources further. And willpower it. 13 successes?
Holy shit!
That is for more investment with this, I'm guessing?
Investing my resources to build up my resources, yes.
Wish you could roll that in my stuff.
I already did well on your stuff, shush.
I mean,
I
if
can
you
do
wanted,
more
you could
resource
invest in
rolls for
rebuilding this
yours.
city.
I literally can keep working on investing your stuff even better, you know. That is an option if you'd like.
Anyway. So, with that dealt with your week, Jackalore. Anything specific you want to do this week now that everything in your area is mostly down and there's already reinvestment?
I'd like to start working on. What can I do with charisma empathy?
I mean, charisma empathy is usually used when you're hunting down your thrall,
Mm-hmm.
especially since you don't have to hide it as much.
Yeah. Wait. Well, no, I didn't load the forge for that.
What were you thinking about?
Building a magical computer.
Yeah, no, you need Forge 4
Thinking for Forge
and pattern.
I think that's difficulty 9 for Law Forge anyway.
No, it's difficulty 9 to manipulate it. If you want to enchant something, it's 8 or 6, depending on whether or not you made the thing you're.
Mm-hmm. Can I work on my legacy?
You can.
God, why
It's
would you
like
do
make
that?
yourself an intelligence. Would be the appropriate thing here. Intelligence intuition check at 9 to continue building up everything.
No specialty, I assume?
No specialty.
Nice.
You have how much already?
1.
All right, you can turn that into 2. Alrighty. Adolphus. Don't think we have Retimer yet. And then we're just waiting on Allied to get back so we can finish up with his.
Didn't I fail miserably?
Didn't you?
Well, I tried to get like the venture guy on my side,
Right, yeah, you did. Sorry.
and even the lawyers failed. All the dice have failed me today. I shall.
The dice have failed me repeatedly. The fact that you're just now seeing it is your own thing.
But I don't really care if you fail with your dice. It's actually mostly a good thing.
Anyways, at this point, we're just waiting on Allied so that the state of the world can be a little bit more unveiled.
I think they may take it sometime. Oh, by the way, the TCD, are they actually looking into the Earthbound stuff?
Yeah, they've got watchers posted up for everything.
Yeah, that's good. I forgot to ask that earlier. Alright, I have a lot of people to assign. Can you give me like a rough estimate of like what the TCD members are working on? Like I imagine like most of them are, like people on the streets, right? What did the
Yeah, a
rest
lot
do?
of it is just keeping an eye on things so that things stay stable. They were on alert when everything was going on in the south, but as it stands right now, they're just watching the stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, that's understandable. This should be real.
Also, apparently, Allied has flipped to being a reaction.
In what sense? In faction sense, or
Killed all the horse. Oh.
well, whatever.
Someone put the crab dance over the -40 costing crew.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
it's wonderful.
What times we live in?
Is there like an article on this? Can you like post it in the general chat?
Well, it's mostly
This is
memes.
memes in Ems's chat.
Yeah, she should watch it. It's pretty good. You know what?
I'm not in AMPS's thing.
What?
Oh, do you mean that one?
Yeah, that one. You're constantly offline, but you're there.
Ah, yeah.
Just look at memes and polls. There's like a video.
Ow, my ears.
Trust me, it's totally worth it. Man.
Some people just disturb.
Oh, it's fucking lovely.
No, I'm looking in the NSFW off-topic stuff for Kale's sir. Thing that that McAllister just posted.
Oh fuck's sake.
Yeah, he's just a check, you know.
I'm pretty sure he didn't do that, but it just makes me sad what it is.
What makes you sad? Sorry, I was deafened by the crab thing.
Because it's there.
I mean, what's there?
It's someone sourced the Hagaho hoodie, in its entirety.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so someone sourced it. They found all the places where it came from.
What?
All the various faces on it. That's what he's talking
The
about.
Hagaho hoodie.
Ah. I heard like. I wasn't even sure what I heard.
You know, someone sourced it.
Imagine like they were walking around with something like that, and everyone can fucking see it. Like,
Two reactions you see, Radama. It's either the person who's wearing it will be like, I own it, sort of look, or the other one will be, I'm doing this for a bet.
I mean, they actually should be glad that no one's fucking beating them for that shit.
So our cults can form, what's it called? Vulgar magic, right? Over time.
They can create line magic rituals effect by utilizing their own faith.
Interesting.
Line magic, huh? The dumb question. Like it. Can they like develop like line magic paths as well?
Yes, they can.
Do they do it on their own, or do they like incentive for that?
They'll develop it on their own eventually.
Nice. What do you?
I wonder what this oil price crash is actually going to do to fuel costs.
I mean, I don't. I imagine that it won't be. It won't affect like consumers that much. Because there's like a bunch of other costs. Because all things considered, like only a fraction of the fuel price is really just the crude oil itself. And the corporations don't really have that much of a reason to like hand the lowered price along, when they can just perfectly say, "No, it's okay. We'll just keep the price there."
Yeah, we'll just keep it high as possible, you know?
Nah, they're gonna lower it by a few cents. I'm sure of it.
Oh, no.
The generous after all.
Oh man, you're being too generous. They're gonna let you have it lowest price possible, and they're just going to increase the green tax and the carbon tax on your ass. So they'll make it in there. They'll just make it possible for you to drive on the road.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens eventually. it's really annoying, to be honest.
Well, if you're capable of it, now would be the time to make a gasifier so you can run your car on wood if shit goes south fast.
Well, first of all, why? When the oil price is literally crashing, like they would have just stopped the production.
Because at some point they all go bust.
I mean, at that point, I can still, like, they're not gonna go bust completely. Eventually, the price, the production, like, someone's gonna stop producing, and that one will just probably fail on its own until the price rises again.
So, could I roll into Legacy to attempt to divine the locations of any strongholds or battlefields that happened in the nearby?
You could. The check is at 8. It's in legacy check at 8.
Mm-hmm. Can I spend willpower on it?
Do you want me to do it?
I have 7 dice.
You can spend willpower.
I have 7 dice and it would be at, what, 6 for me?
Why is it 6 for you rather than 7?
Is a mayor.
Ah, well, I guess I could help you and you could roll 8 main.
Yeah, we can do it together. Why not?
Mm-hmm. So you lead, I'll follow.
Okay.
I got 2 degrees, so I guess that's 1 extra success.
Pretty mad, but
So 3 successes.
unfortunately.
That's pretty good.
So, putting your heads together and looking at the geography of the area, you think you might be able to identify an actually pretty important bastion. However, it appears to have been sunk by the heavenly host as it left. It's currently out about 100 miles off the coast and under the water.
Could I teleport over there? In scuba gear?
You would need scuba gear, plenty of it.
Well, Gene can drive a boat, and I can sort of drive a boat. He's shown me how. I have my sea legs. So we could literally go over there in a boat if you want.
I wonder if any treasures of the before the war or during the war are still there.
The main problem is how the fuck would we get down there? If it's 100 miles off the coast, it's gonna be pretty deep.
We'll buy a submarine, clearly.
I mean, we could have Ally to make a
I heard
submarine,
that those are
but it's
really
not
good at getting
here.
people to places. Are you saying?
Allied could literally make you a personal submarine. That is a total possibility. The problem is, he's not here right now.
Yeah. So we can
Mini
rescue
subs are a thing. People
No,
use
but-
them for exploring.
the fucking Tesla guy. Elon Musk meme. Submarine to save the artifacts instead of children.
What did Elon Musk do now?
No, not now. This was ages past.
Oh, it just reminded you of one?
Yeah, when he meant submarines. A personalized submersible that can get you through cave systems or something.
Hell, if you bought some scuba gear, you could probably enchant the scuba gear to get you down there.
True.
Actually, with your 3 successes, you'll also know a little bit about that. That was one of the hardest bastions to break over here in the New World, and its fall basically signaled the end of your control in the old world, and in the New World as the
Well, the area that is not the new world.
well this
What,
this is the New World as declared by the in modern parlance. Like you wouldn't have called it that, but that was basically the linchpin of your control in the Americas for the Fallen.
What legion controlled it? Would we know that?
Yeah, it was an Iron Legion bastion.
I have no idea what that means.
Iron Legion was the Protect Humanity Legion.
Okay.
So it's probably not full of completely evil shit.
Probably half of it is still filled with evil shit, but that's pretty good.
That's better than most of, like, the Scarlet Legion or anything like that.
Yeah.
So silent.
Yeah, I mean we're waiting on Allied to get back before we can move on.
Can you look at my card? I like changed some numbers. Do you think that's reasonable, or should I shift some stuff around?
Sorry, what'd you say?
I asked him if it's reasonable, or if he wants me to shift some stuff around.
What seems reasonable?
My card. Like, well, I put some numbers down.
That makes sense.
Alright.
So you said I have one non-cult now. That means I have, what, 3 or 4 people?
You have 15.
Okay. I don't get faith from my cult directly, do I?
You do not, but they provide you manpower and a much larger reach than you could otherwise. And they, like Allied has, you can utilize their ability to develop rituals as a workaround for getting access to mastery.
Hmm. What would mastery even do with patterns?
It would let you look 10, 100, 1,000 times your faith rating days into the future.
Oh,
Yeah, Mastery can modify everything except the power of the invocation. Like anything determined by the roll itself cannot be modified properly.
okay.
Do you mean to tell me that if that happens for like set, let's say Law of Flames, we could set like an entire block on fire?
Yes.
You're thinking too small. You could
You can set an entire city on fire.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. I don't think. I actually have to double check how it determines how far it spreads.
Well, it spreads to
I
the
think
faith rating.
Holocaust was an AoE already.
No, Holocaust is touch based.
Okay. Wasn't there Lord of Flames that did AoE?
Like the first part can do it, and like the second part, I believe.
It was amount of cubic.
So for Lord of Flames, funnily enough, fuel wouldn't let you light an entire block on fire, but you could manipulate flames from further and further away, or in a larger area.
I mean, I just need to start like a small fire, and then it just spread, like, you know, do the evocation, and then boom.
I mean, you could do this. You could sit on the outskirts. You could sit on the outskirts of like a town, and then if you use mastery, you could then light a house on the other side of the town on fire. If you took it.
How would it even look? Would it be like?
What would it be to set up a second sun in the sky?
Second sun in the sky. If you just want to, that's a parlor trick you can pull off with light. If you want to like actually set up another star in the, then that's a lot harder.
Okay, hear me out. What if you block out the actual sun and put out another sun, so the vampires can walk during the day?
I mean, they still fall asleep when the sun would be up for them.
Isn't there like some obscure ruling about them having like different waking up rules, where, you know, when they're deep underground and stuff like that? We basically just need to like block it off good enough.
I can't actually remember. Actually, hold on. No, if trying to remember how Cry That Slays the Sky worked, because that's the closest analogy for what you're talking about.
There was the Polar Night one, where they just have the ability to stay up all night, but at the same time,
yeah, you lose one blood every
lose
24
blood.
hours, regardless about whether
Yeah.
or not you stay up.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, if you somehow yeeted the sun, that'd probably be what would
It would also
happen.
kill everyone.
No, not if you do
Yeah.
not if you put out a second sun. Our sun. Cover.
A second star would
You have to
completely
eat
fuck
females
all the
now,
ecology.
if you eat the sun. I was thinking just adding another star into the sky.
Yeah, I mean, if we added a second star that actually shines as bright as the sun in the local area, that would completely fuck the ecology in most cases.
We need to block us. Just block the other sun off. No actual sunlight needs to reach the surface. Like he just can stay where it belongs. Trust me, guys. This plan is not insane.
So we create a barrier around the Earth that protects the world from Helios' influence.
We only don't need to do on the entire Earth. We just need to do between the Earth and the sun.
No, the sun is drawn across the sky by Helios' chariot. That's how it works. So
So we just need someone like right besides this quote unquote chariot to like block it at all times.
Is akin to the closest thing to a god on Earth. like more than the antediluvians.
What about Gaia herself though, or Luna? The Celestials, they're
Luna
like
is weaker than
they're gods as well.
Gaia is arguably stronger on Earth than Helios is, but Helios is more powerful, generally speaking. I'm pretty sure. He's just doesn't interact with the planet much, since that's Gaia's domain.
Mm.
But do not forget that you can it is entirely possible for you to get just yeeted by wolves if you start fucking with the Celestines that are in the
I mean, we're gonna get yeeted by wolves anyway. Let's be real here.
True enough. This will send their rank 6 dudes after you instead of sending their rank 3 dudes after you.
So if we block out the Helios, should we block out the Luna as well? Wouldn't that remove their rage as well?
Yeah, it would, because I think they need to like look at it to regenerate rage.
No, they have more ways to regen rage than just
No,
looking
but
at the
it's
moon.
Luna itself, the rage. So we block out Luna's influence from Earth, means they cannot rage because that's Luna's gift.
I mean, if someone sticks you inside of a box so you can't have influence, do your packs still have access to the power you? That's the thing. I just didn't think of it like that.
Like, basically putting someone in the box of magical lead.
It still doesn't stop what she's already given to them from manifesting. Because if you guys get sent into hell where you can't have any fucking influence at all, you still have pacts. They still get access. They still send you faith. They still have access to the gifts. The werewolves would still have access to rage. They just have lost one of their easiest ways of regenerating.
I mean,
Then everyone would obliterate you and then tear the goddamn shroud down that you.
I mean, on the wolves, the others shouldn't care. For the most part, I mean, maybe the fucking hippies. By the way, Adolphus, we can hear everything you're doing.
There's no moon anymore.
Adolphus, mute yourself.
God damn
What
it.
the fuck was that?
He was washing his hands.
What the fuck, Adolphus?
I get sweaty palms. I'm sorry.
No, the problem is that you left your detect sound, so we were forced to listen to the water right next door to yours.
Yeah.
Was he carrying the phone? How is he actually holding his phone if he's washing his hands?
I don't know if he was. He might have just put it down next to it.
I mean, just hold your hand while you wash your hands. Then the phone is clean too.
Well, at least my hands aren't sweaty now.
For now.
Mm-hmm. Any sign of Allied?
No. He's dead.
Well, he's saying that his family is dragging him into to get beer.
Indeed. Turns out he gets asked for ID, gets arrested, GG.
Oh. That would be interesting.
Oh shit, I forgot my wallet in my other house.
Can I make that canon? That he got arrested for buying beer. Oh yeah, Armand, there's like a rail line going through the city. Is that still like active?
I think there's one. I have to actually look at it.
Yeah,
to see
that's
what would make it.
like it goes right to the former Dos Olvidados territory. Like there's a big station there.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's one now, but I'm not figuring out that shit until and unless you actually get an awakened mage with Prime on your side.
For a rail line?
Would we know about whatever they're called, line nodes or whatever? Ley lines?
Ley lines and nodes, you can't detect them even if you know that they exist.
I thought like there's something very eerie similar that in like for the Fallen, what I call dragon lines or something like that. You know, the thing
I
that
don't think the Fallen directly interact with anything. The only thing I heard was that when they were talking about how the mages apparently drain the faith rating of a location permanently to regenerate themselves.
No, what I'm thinking about is like that one, like one of the Archduke tries to look for Lucifer that way, and this is basically as like a spy network.
That's Dagon, and he has access to knowledge and influence that utterly dwarfs you guys.
I mean, yeah.
Like so badly, it's not even funny. Kind of dwarfs.
Actually, hello.
Kill us both. Hello, I'm back. I'm sorry. They'll kill us both if I don't fucking. It's my family.
Mm-hmm.
They will grab the steering wheel.
Alright. So that.
I'm so sorry.
So after that, about a day passes where you're just sort of enjoying the sights of LA with Nines playing tour guide, and then when you're sitting down in his haven at the end of the next night, about a night before the interview, there's a knock on the door that Nines gets up to answer.
He goes up to the door. He gets shot by pellets from a shotgun.
No. Yeah, no. The kill team's here. Get down.
No. Instead, there's a tall and imposing man dressed basically in flowing black clothes.
Black robes?
Clothes.
Oh.
Like loose black clothing, sort of thing.
This must be 18.
I know that Kale has a specific vampire he uses for this, but I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Why are you taking notes from Kale?
I'm stealing characters. I'm not actually like taking notes from what he does. The only thing I'm stealing is what the Prometheans would do, who the Prometheans would actually send to prove for the other ones in the Camarilla territory. Because he actually has active Prometheans in his group.
Why, yes, the school is that way. As a side note, why are you guys launching a full-scale invasion into my domain?
Because they're bored. And, he introduced himself as a 6th gen Camarilla La Sombra, and he's here to help break the news. That you've given them the impetus that they need to actually pull the curtain down, as plenty elders who saw what they wanted and agreed with, but couldn't publicly. He's 6th gen, so he can do shadow stepping memes.
No, I know, but out of everybody that showed up, 6th gen Lassam. Alright.
This is something important, and they want to do it right, so you got to send the best person.
Oh, whoa, I should not be here then.
I mean, you're the best option out of a bunch of bad ones going by your
wow. I have Jack.
The only other options are people who keep hiding their face when they pop out of APOC.
That's fair.
you've basically taken the lead in pulling down the shroud, so that's not allowed. That's an illegal maneuver there by.
Oh, I thought you meant that's illegal to tear down. I was like,
No, I'm talking to Red. That's illegal.
Not if it's a Legos game.
Fucking 4th gen gargoyle trying to Diablo-ize an Earthbound. Excuse me.
Wait, that actually happened.
How does a fucking how does a fucking gargoyle get to 4th gen?
We're talking
Because he is Tremere's gargoyle, according to Lego.
Personal gargoyle.
That still wouldn't be a 4th gen.
This is Legos, man of the cursed memes. Let's just accept this and move on.
the campaign is forbidden knowledge. Okay.
Well, no, it falls under the things man was not meant to know sidebar of the Mage resource book.
Drives me insane each time I must share it, but I'm compelled to share it.
So insane, you can't just keep it to yourself.
Mm.
But anyway.
Yeah. Well, I will get up and, of course, greet the man. I doubt I'm in my APOC form here.
Probably are.
As we've just been well, he's been enjoying blood. I've probably been enjoying, like, a nice wine. Greetings, fuck, what was his name you said it was?
I didn't give him a name. I'm just going to leave him unnamed.
Greetings, unnamed of House Lasombra. I will, shake his hand and stuff. Welcome.
He thanks you for not reacting rashly, considering how many problems you've likely had with the Lasombra.
Oh no, my good sir. I'm well aware that if you wished me ill intent, there would be more than just you here currently. There would be probably 3 other Lasombra in these shadows.
It's true enough, but
considering I literally had to deal with the shadow stat memes myself.
I mean, he actually didn't shadow step; he just shadow squidded around.
Well, no, yeah.
The reason this is here is because Malcav is doing his memes in the background, and he had a Malkavian intercept the letter, read it, tear it up, and then he copied it and handed it over with another Malkavian to this dude specifically.
Yeah, I didn't have problems.
Might as well have the Lasombra, or might as well have the Camarilla kill teams not try and you're still useful.
To be totally honest, I love the idea of the Camarilla kill team showing up and on national television, like they kick in the front door, like Nines get shot, I get shot, go APOD, go. I thought they were good vampires. I was mistaken. Purge Europe, purge them in the name of God. I will handle North America. What about Mexico? They can keep it.
You probably don't want to go into Mexico right now anyway.
I wouldn't want to go in there in the first place. It's too. I'm surprised I haven't been contacted by the Earthbound that are in the city or anybody else. There's like 2 Earthbound Archdukes in the city right now. And canon, I don't like this city.
One of them isn't an Archduke. One of them is a 4th gen boss.
Oh, you're okay. You're wrong with him being a 4th gen. All right.
No, this is actually his canon stats. He's a 4th gen Bali, and there's also supposedly an Archduke.
Huh. Okay, because the Earthbound, I thought it said 2 Archdukes here, or at least 2. One Archduke and one that has his eyes here, with a Earthbound puppet.
That's entirely possible.
I'm going APOD. All right.
Anyway, back to
the game. Instead of getting sidetracked by lore.
But yeah, and as for Dahmer said, of course, I will. I know better. The Sombra are a very prideful clan. I'm not gonna square up with Ink Cloud McGee for right now.
Yeah.
Not when we have an innocent here. Meanwhile, he could probably solo both of us. Well, I'm just gonna be. Well, this is far more interesting than what I had sent out in the first place. But very well, there's fuck. I'm not gonna.
I received a letter from the Malkavians.
I just pinched my like the bridge of my nose. Excuse me, good sir. Do you by chance still have the letter?
He passes it over, and it basically looks exactly like what you would expect Mary to.
Oh, but it came from Rockavians.
You know,
Hmm.
eccentric at the best of times, but they're still useful.
Oh, but of course they're incredibly useful. I'm just gonna file that away as this should not have gone through a Malkavian. Something's going on here. There's only one Malkavian that I don't want to fuck with. That might fucking asshole. I wanted to get paid. So tell me, is there like we're going through with this and like put like requests for like like to hear like their side of the deal, or is it worded in a way of, hey Camarella, you want to help us so we can be one big happy family to tear down the masquerade?
Effectively, it is a lot close to the ultimatum thing that you might have expected from her. That you're going to be doing this with the Anarchs, and you can either get in on the ground floor, or you're going to have to play damage.
Mary,
Like, it's as frank as possible.
Mary, that wasn't the plan. We wanted to pit them against each other to get juicy shit. I see she botched another one of her politics roles. That's fine. Fuck. All right. Slight frown of sadness that we're not going to be able to get paid, but yeah, I'm sure we can have goodwill with the Anarchs after this either way. But yes, then I will. Is there a way, Armand, to phrase this to? Yeah, I wish to know what he's going to bring to the table for this. I guess the best way to put it.
Well, I'm certain that. I mean, Nines is kind of poking them and saying, so did you make sure to at least check in with some of the other vampires here so that they don't try and attack you on sight if they think you're trying to take me hostage or anything? He just sort of nods. I appeared here on the outskirts of town before moving in. I spoke to several of your compatriots in the Anarch state. And he just sort of and at your question, well, as impressive as I'm sure that Nines' demonstrations would be, it does lend a little more credence when someone who is visibly supernatural instead of able to perform supernatural acts.
Wait, is he gonna scare the shit out of everyone with alternate
No,
breakdown?
he doesn't appear on cameras, remember?
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be his whole shtick. Is he's there specifically so he can not appear on the cameras and do a bunch of shit that's not really possible with special effects in the current era.
Well, I hope he has his own camera crew he brought with, because remember, most of his obtenebration memes cause terror.
He's not using all 10 memes. He's literally just leveraging his clan flaw to help break the masquerade while convincing.
Oh wow, Lasombra that's not using his tentacles to like lift stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Whew, we had spicy boys here today. All right.
He wouldn't have come himself if he was just going to use Ob10.
Mm-hmm.
He would have sent a child there or something.
That's fair. Well, besides the fact that he said he's gonna display supernatural powers, even though
he's saying more visibly supernatural, not saying that he's displaying supernatural powers, but that he's visibly supernatural.
My apology. Again though, I want to see like we're all bringing the masquerade down together, cool, but I'm helping lead credence to them, so that it's not just like because Nines brought something to the table and was willing to negotiate. What do I roll here to see what the Lasombra's bringing?
I mean, that's a manipulation finance check to try and wheedle anything out.
Manipulation finance of all things.
Yes.
Difficulty?
Well, difficulty is 6 because it's also a contested check.
Oh, it's contested. Does my fame or anything apply here?
No. He doesn't care about your fame.
Maybe you should fame 8 like him.
That's fair. Well, my merits for manipulation would apply though, right?
Your supernatural ones, yes. Your natural ones.
So all of my merits. So my merits would apply because they're all supernatural. Enchanting voice is supernatural, isn't it?
No.
Nope.
Oh, it's not. It's even
It is
dating.
not.
It's listed as social.
Oh, okay. Well,
Your explicitly supernatural ones are the only ones that apply.
well, I'm gonna spend willpower on this, but at least it's difficulty 5. 3 successes.
He rolls 18.
Yeah, 18 dice, difficulty 3.
Somehow rolls 7 botches.
Yeah, no, you're not getting anything out of it.
Oh.
Having 7 manipulation's fun, isn't
Having to deal with the 6th gen, instead of what the fuck I thought was coming is also fun.
it?
Okay, we're gonna have fucking words.
You'll have to find him first.
I just need to find a Malk. There's enough of them that he can't hide them all.
Into your madness network.
I will again.
Well then, prepare to get yeeted by Malkav going, look, there's an insect in my garden. Better squash
Yeah,
it.
he yeeted you out the first time. What makes you think he can't this time?
I'm full faith this time. Knock, knock. I'm back about Kevin. I'm mad. The fuck's
This
my
is like
money
a
about
fucking
Kev?
of heaven, except you're wielding a fucking pitchfork against it.
Malkav,
You're
what the
basically
fuck?
trying to wield a pitchfork against this flying saucer. It's not gonna work. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. He'll pull it, "This is my world now," and then you'll find yourself yeeted out of the Madness Network fast, and you can say, "Ooh."
Here, me showing up to fucking talk to Malkav in the Malkav network.
Yeah, just sit down,
No.
grab some tea and
I know you're here,
crumpets.
I know you're here, Malkav, you big fucking nerd, or some goddamn.
Well, anyway, back to the topic on hand.
I fucking hate. Okay, well, I can't just kill the Lasombra, but I'm gonna keep my displeasure to myself currently. He was a worthy opponent. I'll remember his unknown name for a later
He
date.
had more successes than you had dice. There was no way you were winning that.
To be fair, it was also your dice, Armand.
I suppose that is true. There's always the chance he double botched.
Yeah. So pissed off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very angry at this fucking Lasombra. Lasombra doing Lasombra things makes me angry. But yeah, all right, fuck it, sure. Let's go through with it then, I guess.
Effectively, they sit down to try and discuss what they're gonna have to lay out on the table, what they're gonna have to try and offer up as concessions to humanity, and what they think they can wheedle out from them. Basically, planning on how they think they can manage to swing public opinion with this. Is there anything specific you want to try and convince them of towards?
No, Lasombra does what Lasombra does best: cuck other people in the political field. Voices in my head, because I'm pretty sure there'd be a head call before that. And then I would, just like, I mean, they would probably find it a little bit odd, as I'm like sort of repeating what it is out loud that they're saying, but better I get everybody's opinion on the matter. So what type of consensus should we try to push for with the vampires? Besides yeeting the Sabbat.
Well, that actually, have you read the thing that I sent?
No.
Okay, let me summarize then. Like, I think what needs to happen is like that the vampires accept like human law to some degree, and maybe have like have them like even take out their own if they like break the law publicly.
I mean, to a certain degree, they already do that. They just don't listen to human law as much, thanks to stuff like Dom.
Yeah, but they have to make like a good show of it. Basically, they basically sacrifice some pawns or even enemies, to make a good show out of it.
Stop assaulting people in the middle of the street at night.
Yeah.
That's the Sabbat, not the Camarilla.
That's the Bruja, and I don't think we're going to be able to stop
No,
that.
that's all of them because they all need to drink, and most of them don't have herds.
They're technically not assaulting. Usually, it's consensual.
A lot of people or a lot of vampires will tend to use the whole go to club, take someone out back, get a drink, and then they'll head back in.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Some of them will, like half of them.
Most of them. That's
Most try
how
and
you
do.
don't break the masquerade every time you hunt.
The fact that player characters tend not to spec into social hunting very well is entirely on the player character, not on Vampire Society in general.
That's
I
one
always
view of
expect
them
to
being
somehow
units, to be
social
honest.
hunting.
It's less likely to end with a team of hunters on your ass too if you're character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really enforce, like, the issue here is I would be down for trying to have them feed from blood banks to an extent, but that would require government intervention.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's be real, blood banks don't have that much blood right now.
yeah.
Really.
What needs to happen is that they essentially like set up like a sort of feeding on industry, essentially. You know, like people just selling their blood, like outright selling it,
So,
and then you know,
American blood bank.
yeah, yeah, in a way, and of course that's gonna also be gonna be like service workers that you know get
Yeah,
bitten.
they could just pay people to fucking give them blood.
Yeah, but I think
Assuming that they don't just find someone who'd be willing to give them blood without payment.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I'm on. They totally get paid.
There are plenty of people who just offer up their throat to some vampires,
Yeah.
though. No.
They just get a sugar
Because they
daddy
think
for
it's
that.
hot.
Illegal vampire feeding in the park is going to be clamped down on in 2001 by the right. Okay,
Yeah.
we can't look. We don't let prostitutes have their way. Illegal vampire feeding we can't let spread across the country.
I mean, I'm pretty sure vampires take advantage of illegal prostitutes by feeding off of them.
That's fine. We're going to clamp down on that as well.
Oof. Another thing like
Illegal.
you know like common vampire parts, like especially dominate, could be seen as as a violation of what's it called?
Basic human right.
Yeah,
No,
basic.
it is a violation.
Yeah,
Human right.
and you know, they at least have to publicly distance themselves from it, and essentially, if you're too dumb to use it, then you get fucked.
If you get caught using, but listen, you can say they won't use it, but behind the scenes is if you're dumb enough to get caught using dominate.
Yeah, essentially, that's the idea. What else do we have? Like presence, maybe clamp down on that, but that's pretty hard because it's not like a hammer most of the time,
Yeah.
unless you go like full
Most
entrancement,
people don't
which should
know
probably
what
be.
presence feels like, so
Yeah, but I
practically impossible
mean
to
people
enforce.
would probably notice if like someone suddenly just starts being like entranced by someone. That's pretty obvious to odds onlookers, I think.
Or it's a Toreador that's been entranced, and now you just got another vampire killed because the Toreador couldn't keep it.
I think like bloodbounds need also be done be done like consensual, I guess. Of course, it's gonna be like pretty fucked up in the long run, but officially it needs to be consensual as well. No officially no turning kids, of course. Yeah, and of course feeding must be consensual, but we already talked about that. And I think like there are also some basic rules, which would probably be acceptable for most people.
One of the issues, we're not dealing with people, we're dealing with vampires, which is the issue.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, I'm not talking about the humans accepting this.
Yeah, I'll bring up though to the vampires at the table what the voices in my head are saying, Armand.
Which is basically they're gonna have to accept human laws and curtail on the use of dominate.
Also, like ghoulification, blood bonding in general outside of standard society needs to officially need to be put down on, and Okay, Armand, I need common sense help here.
Mhm.
Can I try to make it to where the Camarilla and the Anarchs kind of sort of work together a bit more for this initial hurdle?
I mean, they're gonna have to.
But yeah, like uses like a bridge building exercise.
To police their own kindred populations.
Yes, and vice versa. Like because the Anarchs are going to have to step up as well. Is like the thing here.
I mean,
Like,
the problem with getting the Anarchs to help police Camarilla stuff is that if they get the opportunity to try and bash in an Elder, about 2/3 of Anarchs would take the opportunity to try and penalize the Elder.
You know what? We're gonna have to give the Anarchs their only weakness. We're gonna have to teach them how to read, so that they understand. No, you're not supposed to bash in a fucking Elder. Oh, that's the other thing too. Keep the vampire race wars to a minimum.
I mean, aside from the Sabbat,
Yes, who we're all throwing under the bus.
I mean, the Sabbat threw themselves under the bus. You're just now starting it back up so that you can run them over.
What are the major Sabbat strongholds right now? Mexico.
Miami is one, and they're mostly fleeing from Montreal. But yeah, there are plenty of other Sabbat strongholds that are still there are still some that are peppered around.
Okay, question.
Most of South America. And Central America.
That doesn't have them getting torn apart by wolves.
Throw those areas. What happens if we throw those? Like we infer that those areas are under the evil vampire's control.
I mean, then it's a great way of pointing out the Sabbat, and your other two vampire friends over there would have a more detailed map of where influence tends to lie.
Mr. Unknown, please whip out the map of the Sabbat stronghold. Let's see if we can throw the hunters that are problems for us as well on national television.
I mean, remember, Eastern Europe is firmly under the grasp of the and while they lost they lost Italy, but they still have chunks of control in Iberia and Sicily, if I remember correctly.
No, not another Spanish Civil War. All right, Spanish Civil War Mark III. Oh God.
This time the DtF is backed by vampire power.
Jack Lord, your opinion on the matter?
I know there's more official maps, but it's effectively they have control over chunks of Eastern Europe, some stuff in Southern Europe.
Where'd you put it?
A map?
Yeah.
I don't have a map.
Oh, okay. Jack, right here. Oh no, Jackalore.
I'm here. What?
Did you fall asleep?
What?
Did you fall asleep?
No. Just
are you all right if we throw these cities and places and nations that are conspiring with the Sabbat under the bus?
Does it increase my torment?
No.
Okay, yes.
As long as you're pointing out that the Sabbat are the problem and not the people.
Sure. Let's cause another Iberian Civil War.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. Another Iberian.
I know. The U.S. invades Canada for peacekeeping.
Most of Canada's
Canada brings down the White House again.
Most of Canada's fine. It's just Montreal.
Now, instead of building a wall, it's we've got to go invade Mexico to murder the Sabbat.
Can you imagine that?
We've got to liberate the people again.
Early 2000s to 2001. Wasn't the Middle East? Wasn't the Operation? What was not Enduring Freedom?
Desert Storm?
Desert Storm. It wasn't Desert Storm. It was Vietnam 2 Electric Boogaloo, but with shadow tentacles through the fucking mountains of Mexico.
No, Desert Storm ended about a decade ago at this point.
Yeah, so it wasn't during Freedom then.
Mhm.
Jello trying to meme me. Could you? But yeah, so you're okay with it? Okay. Adolphus, you're here.
This time, Operation Enduring Freedom is fucking uprooting the Sabbat.
There's going to be a lot of
Let's get the
supernatural
humans
powers out there that are going to have a
other
hold of
vampires so that they can fucking liberate the humans.
We're going to be liberating them.
Yeah.
Man, the poor Supreme Court's going to be okay. So now the guy that wants to run for mayor has told us that there's evil vampires, and given us a list of targets, of some of the worst crime-infested areas, Is this racism? No, the actual proof for once. Alex, you here? What's your vote on? I'm not gonna do it. I want the party. This is a major thing. I'm not being thrown under the bus by the party. Are you for it or against it?
I got myself a cup of tea for what?
Okay, so basically, I have a map. I have the map here from Mr. Unknown of 6th Gen La Sombra of Sabbat strongholds and nations across the world. The plan is basically to have the Anarchs and the Camarilla go official. And Anarchs are, freedom-loving hippies, and the Camarilla are, the adults, basically. But the Sabbat, well, you can see the nations they control.
Yeah.
Mexico, Iberia, former
Most of South
Italy.
America, Africa.
So basically, are you
Well,
okay?
Africa is actually the.
Nosferatu.
No, that's the Ebony Kingdom.
Yeah.
I thought they were Nosferatu.
No. The La Sombra controlled most of Italy and Spain before the split during the Anarch Revolt back then, and they kept a hold on it until Milan flipped like 20 years.
Yeah, but the Ebony Kingdoms.
Yeah, Ebony Kingdom's Africa. So who?
Those
the
are
Seal of
run by
Shadow.
the
The
Nazis.
Seal of Shadows was different.
And you are right. The Ebony Kingdoms are run by a branch of the Nosferatu mainly.
Yeah, I was right. Who controls Italy right now? Camarilla?
Yes, it's Camarilla because one of the big La Sombra
Milan.
5th gens split the Sabbat in half in Milan, and then they just reconquered the rest.
I think Sicily is still under Sabbat control, and it's parts of the boot.
Man, I can't believe we're gonna be deploying troops to the hills.
The Italian mafia, they're the Sabbat.
Oh, wouldn't that
They'll get
cut the
perched
Cappadocia?
once.
Yeah, no, we're throwing the Giovanni under the bus too. Fuck,
right.
All right, I can trade that. I will trade the Tremere. I will trade the Tremere for the Giovanni if the Camarilla is for it. How's the Camarilla assignment on that, Arabon?
I mean, they'd be pretty happy directing the hunters specifically at La Sombra, especially if you don't try and blast wide open where the Camarillas specifically hiding.
No, but we're talking about the Giovanni. Are they going to be fine with eating Giovanni by saying this crime is the Sabbat's fault? Do they have the mafia?
Isn't it too?
Oh my God! Yes.
And the Giovanni isn't the Giovanni close to one of their main headquarters of the Camry?
The Giovanni let them use Venice for their headquarters. Yeah, that's the big problem. They wouldn't want to destroy the Giovanni specific.
But if it's just
They honestly wouldn't care if the Giovanni ended up getting destroyed by this, though. But they don't want to be seen. They don't want to seem to be complicit in it. That's the thing.
Oh, that's completely fine. The mafias in Italy are controlled by the Sabbat. That fine?
Only if you're the one who's ending up saying it.
I'm gonna say it. What's the Giovanni gonna do? Come after me? Let him.
They're already gonna come after you at this rate.
I really want to drone strike on Venice though. Not on Vienna. Just for the memes. Just for the memes.
That's so disgusting.
No, you're not drone striking fucking Vienna.
Please, Vienna.
I mean, instead of what happened with fucking with the idiocy that is V5 that does not exist, the drone would go up, and then its internals would become externals, and then it would explode because the magic wards don't interact well with the technology because they specifically set up ones to stop that from happening.
How dare you have fully functional Tremere?
Words against explosions.
Stuff like that.
Well, yeah, all right. I'm throwing the Giovanni on there. If nobody in this like room has an issue with that, like, yeah, no.
I'm pretty sure the Anarchs don't like the Giovanni at all because they compete in influence because the Giovanni are big in Las Vegas and they try and project power
Really?
from there.
Huh.
Big in banking and mafia in Las Vegas.
Well, Adolphus, I have some room for you to grow into now on the national stage. As a side note, Armand, how does the Lasombra feel about the Tremere?
No, they're not going to throw the Tremere under the bus. It doesn't matter what he thinks about them, but he
No, they're only a Samitsi bloodline, you know, Cap.
Ooh, I think the Tremere would come after me for saying that too. Are the old clans, you know, see, look,
the clan tend not to be Sabat.
okay. Also, Redomer, we have to wipe out all that can actively pose a threat against us. I'm sorry.
What? That's literally anyone,
No.
including ourselves.
No, that's our torment talking. We're good people. We promise. Me and myself. But yeah, alright. Is there anybody... Man, that sucks, because the Salubri are gonna get yeeted for this.
Oh yeah, should we say the Middle East as well for us?
Yeah, no, just Middle East. No,
Don't do that.
I'm
No, they won't let you do that either.
Why not?
Specifically, those ones they're the least humane ones. The assassins, the Assamites tend to keep to themselves.
Oh no,
And it's not worth it to force the entirety of the assassin clan into the arms of this.
No, I wasn't actually meaning the assassins themselves. I was more talking about the Middle East as taint.
That's not tainted. It's got the Ashira all over it, and they don't like the Sabbat any more than the Cameroon.
No, but there's an Earthbound there.
You don't know that.
Is he not awake fucking doing Earthbound memes?
No, not that you can tell, at least.
Bastard. Escape this time. I'm gonna kill Islam in one of these fucking games.
Don't worry, you'll kill it eventually.
Oh yes!
Assuming it doesn't kill itself before then.
Do we throw the werewolves under the bus with this?
Good idea.
You can definitely try, but that's probably not a good idea. They're the counterbalance to Pentex, which has vampires on his board of directors. Do you really want to let Pentex take the wheel?
Doesn't it have a demon on its board of directors as well?
Big question is, what are you going to say about the mages, Cap?
I'm not even opening that can of worms.
Don't think you guys know the mages exist.
I do. You specifically said I had books talking about mages.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't think I have up-to-date books about the Union. I think they read as the Order of Reason still, because nobody ever updates their fucking libraries. But yeah, but no, the mages are another can of worms, and okay, so we're not going after the werewolves with this. Jackalor, Redomer, you guys are the voice of reason here.
They mostly stick to themselves unless you did something horrendous.
Well, no, not quite actually.
Adolphus, they hate us by like default.
Yeah.
They'll ignore you if you're taking out their bigger problems, though.
Yeah. I mean, we can't really do much against them without killing ourselves, basically, because they don't really know a reason. So what do you go? We don't really have like much choice there.
Okay, Jackalor, my son. Always either gotten up or he's fallen asleep. But all right, so we won't throw the werewolves under the bus.
No, he's
and
fallen down and can't get back up. He needs to push his beeper.
he should have life alert then. Well, if that's the case, then we will. Okay. As for the mages, well, I will infer that they're there, and I'm always open to talk to them.
They'll sort of nod as they think about the points that you've brought.
I take it. I take Mr. Spooky Lasandra is going to be doing the main role for this public reveal.
Mhm.
He's a lot more dice than me. I swear to God, Armand, if he fucking botches this of all things.
Ah, yes, I'm a La Sombra. Ah, yes, the La Sombra are responsible for all the evil in the world.
Yes, no, no. He would literally throw everybody else but the Clan Lasombra, because remember, the Clan Lasombra can do no wrong to Clan Lasombra. But yeah, all right. So what are they? They're down with for this? Like, is there any like pushback that they have or opinion, like statement, whatever the fuck?
Other than the Lasombra gently pushing back that it's probably best not to drive the Giovanni into the arms of the Sabbat, there's not a whole lot of pushback.
Well, what if I make an addendum later? Personally, would that help him?
I mean, he just sort of sighed, and his objective is basically, let's not shake up things too much, other than unearthing things.
But hey, turning the humans against the Sabbat, not a
He's
bad
fine with
idea.
that.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's not like it wouldn't be necessary.
my guy's probably gonna like munch on the cigar that's not lit because they're scared of fire, like nerds. And
They can handle small fires. They have enough courage for that.
are you sure about that? Do you want to test that luck?
You can, yeah.
Oh well, I mean, if they have no issue with it, sure, I'll fucking
Yeah,
scroll.
no. They have no issue.
Oh, cool. Now roll their courage, Armand.
They have more than 3. They don't need to roll.
I want them to buy.
Here, just let me light this bonfire so I can light up.
Here, let me light my my furnace inside me. Wait, what? All right, so, okay. Now, I guess the most pressing question that becomes of this is, we've given them a lot of targets to hit. That gives a lot of the people that just hate vampires a lot of wiggle room as to where they're not located, to where you get the normal vampires are. Will they be able to handle a most likely bloodied but incredibly trained vampire kill teams once the Sabbat's dealt with?
The hope is that we can then get our own get our own rights through the courts and the rest of the to ensure that we're at least kept safe by laws instead of simply being thrown to the wind, as it were.
Which vampire has the balls to tell me that?
That is the Sabbat, or not the Sabbat, but the song.
I'm gonna look
And
at
I mean, Nines just sort of nods at that. It's like, it's not like we can do much more than that.
Oh no,
Getting the
I was
getting
just
legal
wondering
rights.
if Nines noticed the hypocrisy of what he just said.
That we just have to throw ourselves out of the system. Honestly, at this point, it's
Well, no, it was that and hope that we don't get just thrown away at the end.
Yeah.
You know,
no, Nines definitely noticed it, but it's not like there's much better that they can do.
Well,
In this case, the system should work as they would hope it, since they still have their hands on the levers of power, or at least they will.
do I do the big meme and tell them? Do I basically tell them, nah, I'll find out in time. They'll find out, Armand.
Their hope is to pull the levers one last time to get things churning on giving them their rights, and then basically stepping.
Oh no! Break the news to them who's kicking around.
What, the Earthbound, or?
No.
Oh.
Their dad, their grandpa. Well, no, they're only 6th gen. 6 and like.
And they're a bit confused, but
I'm not telling them. I'm just thinking I want to, but that's going to cause more issues for them. They don't need to deal with the Ganguro clan saying we were right.
I mean, they already did that because the secret to the Antis has been blown wide open. What with Ravnos cropping up.
Yeah, but then Cameron clamp down on that and say, no, you're all mistaken.
Yeah,
that's why
except it didn't
they
really
succeeded.
work because the Gangrel just left.
Huh. Nah, they let them be played by both sides. They enjoy it. But yeah, alright. We have a plan, gentlemen.
Mhm.
Knock on wood. It can't possibly backfire. And that's when the actual Camarilla kill teams kick in. Yeah,
I'm just trying to calc out his dice pool in my head.
I really can't wait for him to botch this.
You say as he gets almost 10 successes on doing the reveal.
Did he?
Yeah, no, that was his check.
Alright,
It was about 10 dice. He has about 10 or 11 dice for this, and then your presence there gives him the boost he needs to get.
What? Oh, so I don't even bother rolling? Okay.
Taking advantage of you and the groundwork that you accidentally or intentionally laid.
I'm just gonna simply, just be out there for. Yes, it's nice to see you all here. God again.
I mean, you also help lend them credence whenever
I know, but I'm
audience.
picturing like the talk show, like thing, like, oh, we have God here tonight. Hello, everybody, it's me, God. Hey. Well, I have 2 lovely friends to introduce tonight. Have just come out of that, have chosen that they and their kind no longer wish to hide. But we also have terrible news. So come on out, Mr. Unknown Clan Lasombra. For the folks at home, you won't see him. He's got a spicy weakness. And our favorite friend,
He says,
Nas.
yeah, and then he just sort of picks up the chair to demonstrate that he is in fact there.
Yeah,
Picks it up, spins it
I make
around.
like the arm gesture of like, you can't see him, but he's here. Everybody in the fucking room is, what the fuck?
Yeah. And then they look at the live stream TVs that are sitting there so that everyone can
And
yeah, no.
a local leader, a local man of the know of influence, has a lovely tea. They'll shake his head. He probably also picks something up, just show, yeah, I'm also supernatural, just not in that way. Have a little sit down, have
Just
a talk.
picks you up.
Just picks me and my chair up, just while I'm drinking tea. Probably have one of those like late night talk show things, like, so what's your dreams and aspiration, Clan Lasombra, taking over the world? Yeah, no, when the red carpet comes out in DMs. So we actually don't have to worry about like an attack by anybody for this, Ormond?
Nope. This was
No one was
sort of
prepared
dropped
to
in out
attack.
of the blue for everyone but you guys.
I figured like the demons of this city would see this coming or something.
I mean, they did, but how else do you think that they managed to shove the Quajian out with basically no casualties?
Okay. But yeah, no, and I guess once we're done and stuff like that, with the talk show, and, meet and greet, and we're all closing down. I'm of course gonna, talk about how God's Radio is gonna be live in a couple of weeks. If people want to listen in. Good evening, America and the world at large, from your friendly neighborhood God. Here she present my good friend La Sombrue.
Basic.
I'm not a Toreador. I'm from Spain. La Sombrue.
No, that's the name of La Sombra.
Oh
No, it's La Sombra. You got it wrong.
La Sombra.
Whatever. Whatever, it's close enough.
Let's not have him frenzy on national television. We're trying to prove that they're good vampires.
You can read the part right back 5 minutes later. So sorry about that. He lost control of it. It'll be fine now.
I mean, they did warn. One of the things that they did warn in the announcement is vampires can frenzy, which means that they're not themselves. Like that's just one of the things that has to get let out. It's like, don't just continuously insult a vampire, otherwise there's a better than even chance that you're going to end up getting, and it's not something that they can control.
Well, they can. It's just really hard for some of them.
But he's referring to after the frenzy has started.
Ah, okay.
Like once they start, it's almost impossible for them to stop.
Until the issue is over, of course.
Yeah.
But remember, God's holy water will drive back even the most frenzied. No.
No.
But and I guess afterwards and stuff like that, we do the smile and nod. We probably have like
An audience Q&A there for a little.
God's just enjoying a nice. I love the idea of a giant like mouth visage of forge like thing. Like, by the way, I would have told you guys to turn on like the TV before this, back home. But I love that.
I would assume so.
He's got like a little teacup, and like little tea like tray. He's drinking it with his big ass like 9 foot tall body. Just like guys. You guys want statements made or whatever? Jack Lore, Dollfish, Dahmer, Amps.
Statements, recommendations
Statements,
for you?
anything like that, just for national television. Besides fucking Clan in general.
Someone's typing something.
Dahmer's probably like, just don't talk anymore. Don't forget. No. No.
Wait, wrong city. Sorry.
I hear the warp is really safe.
Oh yes. Well, I don't know, Ems. Are we sure we don't want them to stay in drugs and don't do schools? And the general, like, stay in school, don't do drugs, and together we all can build a brighter world.
Mm-hmm.
No matter the cost. Wait, what?
Anyway. So then, I'm going to close the session here because I'm kind of exhausted, and this is 2 sessions back to back.
God damn it, I wanted to fucking ask Nines how much it was going to cost to get fucking occult libraries out of them.
I mean, he's perfectly happy handing you an occult library 5.
Oh, hell
for
yeah.
this, for your help.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah, guys.
It'll just take him a week or so to actually call up everyone and collect.
All right, guys, communal book gathering time. Let's go.
That's what you used to.
Yay.
But yeah, that was a nice.
What were the lessons everyone else has learned here today?
Fucking don't
Starting a cult is hard.
Really, Redimer?
Indeed, praise me, Redomer.
Wait a minute.
I've waited a minute. What is it that you require? As per your request, good sir.
When you got a minute ago.
Mine is that if you try to contact the Camarillo to force their hands, they're gonna cuck you. So next time, just make them pick up the pieces.
Oh, man.
I was really hoping that building influence is a lot more fun.
Under this system than other ones. I'm glad you think so. I'm very much happy that I managed to make a use for contacts other than, yeah, no, this is the thing that the Nazi has instead of in.
Still can't believe the camera roll cut. They are really just building themselves a big shit list for me.
I know, right? That's why you wanted the Tremere on the list, you know?
Yeah, I wanted to remove the threat that would help them out the most when we attacked them, but damn.
They really want those gargoyle embraces, though. Careful.
Anything else from people?
Jackalor, what was your lesson?
The fucking Kami is another game how to play, how to not cut deals in the first place.
Yep. I think Adolphus has got his. I think Redimer. So 3 XP for everyone then.
Well, he drives a hard bargain and Skulls are singing it. How Redomer, please don't attack me like that.
I won 3 XP and now I have dinner to eat.
Yeah, have fun.
Enjoy.
Redomer, why you gotta attack me like that?
Wow,
I'm
only trying to help you out.
I did everything the party wanted me to. I didn't yeet the Tremere. I made friends with the vampires. I got us Occult Library 5. I got us Nines as a friend.
Wait, we all have a Cult Library 5 now?
Yeah, within a week we will.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna.
He's gotta do the communal book gathering.
Yeah.
Which I think is a fucking meme, but
I'm gonna stop the stream now.
goodbye, stream.